In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs dropped their first game of the Rodeo Road Trip, falling to Miami 116-104. Wemby had 18 and 13, 3 and 1 fill those boxes in 28 minutes. Spurs get busy again tonight against the Orlando Magic. Cowboys continue their search for a defensive coordinator. Rex Ryan, the most recent of the usual suspects. In college football, the Aggies ran the number one athlete in the country.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, huddle up. We got something to talk about. This is the Morning Huddle. He's RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I'm Rob Thompson, the bespectacled car loser. We are live from Radio Row, day 4 of our Media Row coverage, brought to you, of course, by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Synergenics. How are you doing this fine morning, RJ Ochoa?
You know, it's great to be with you, Rob, and the experience here, waking up at the time we have to, something we've been talking about a lot, obviously, and I've had kind of swings of days where, you know, one day you wake up and you feel just like completely physically limited, like you're moving in slow motion, you're kind of walking through mud, and the next day you wake up and you're just sprightly and ready to run a full marathon. And today we're on opposite ends of the spectrum. You woke up and you are singing a song, you are tap dancing. I saw you as I went to get some coffee auditioning for the Jabberwockies.
I was dancing.
But you know, today I'm just, my body's taking a little while. My mind feels sharp, but I'm feeling, again, I feel like I'm moving in slow motion. I remember my very first college final exam, I pulled it on the all-nighter because I thought, like, you have to do that.
Right.
Even that was so stupid. But I remember drinking 2 Monsters to keep myself up for the entire night before I took the exam.
How'd that go for you?
Well, I failed it.
Yeah.
I don't think my parents are listening, so you didn't waste that money, Mom and Dad. But I remember walking down the, like, not amphitheater, but like the classroom, you know, to the bottom to turn it in. And I remember, like, as I was walking, I remember feeling like, my mind is moving at like 5 times the speed of my body. Like, my body is moving so much slower than my mind thinks I'm able to right now. I felt so. Have you ever seen that movie with Hayden Christensen? I forget what I think it might be called Awake, where in the movie he undergoes a procedure.
Yeah, I know, where his body is, he's awake.
And he just can't. It felt like that in a bit of a sense. So it was a strange phenomenon.
So that's what we're going through right now.
I'm
glad I drove.
I'm in a fractional sense of that state right now. And some of that was amplified by how we ended yesterday, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, there's a story, and this is for our brigade only. Because
that's not true. But.
Well, no, we're going to give the honest truth, because it's going to be smeared, it's going to be altered, it's going to be shaded. It's going to grow as time passes. This is one of those that's going to go in the San Antonio Sports Star book of legend, what happened yesterday.
So let me set you up. All right. And I think I'll be fairly objective. About 24 hours and about 25 hours ago. About 25 hours ago, Rob and I unexpectedly
discovered at the last moment we had to drive.
We unexpectedly found out that we had to drive.
Keep in mind, neither one of us had been behind the wheel once.
This week.
Didn't know where we were going.
So we drove. We didn't allot for that time, so that amplified a little bit of the stress. And so we came. There's a parking garage here at Mandalay Bay. We come in there, we park, and I will back Rob up. As we parked, there was a gentleman at the elevator, and he was holding it for us. And anyone who's been in that situation knows that is immediate stress. You are immediate trying to not inconvenience that person whatsoever, and you want to go end them. You just feel so seen that person's holding the door.
And he was being a good dude, holding the elevator. But by this point, he was standing there. And the elevator kept trying to close, and he's holding it. So we run, and as the door closes, I turned to RJ like, man, I'm not sure we're going to remember where we are. But that just happened at that moment. And then we progressed and found our way to work.
Yeah. And as we were walking away, Rob said, I really don't remember where we parked. And and we were trying to get here to where we're at. And I said, I think I do. We're good. And then we had the whole day, and you actually went home.
I was going to go home with the van. I decided, no, I'm going to just Uber.
So you Ubered during the day, but then you came back, and we did a few different things. And time came for all of us, the entire crew here, to go home. But we had the van here, so not a problem. We go to the parking lot and literally live out the episode of Seinfeld.
We couldn't find the car, man. Somehow it was on a level that we didn't think we could get to. But there were a series of elevators that would only go to a certain floor.
Elevators and escalators.
Escalators. Well, we parked above the standard elevator and escalator line. Now, how we got to that floor, I don't know. That's on us. I don't know how we got to the 5th floor. We did. I don't remember going that high. It was 2 a.m. It felt like we've got the first spots available. I don't know what happened. We parked on a floor where we were looking. You couldn't physically get to.
I think we have to detail, because this will be lost when Big Fudge and Left Shoe tell the story. When we pulled in 25 hours ago, there was nobody here.
No.
So some things were more accessible than they are when there's a lot of traffic, and there's all sorts of people kind of, traffic, directing. So we came in yesterday and just parked where it felt natural. But we did exit after we got in the elevator after the stress. We did exit in a weird area, and we both noted, like, this is odd. This elevator came out in a weird spot.
Well, then we found out yesterday that we did park in the employee parking lot. I don't know how we managed to do that, I was driving. So that's the story. By the end of the day, we will have ended up parking someplace in Henderson.
Yeah.
And because we legitimately thought the car had been stolen, because we knew where we had parked. It was
the last bit of thing I think we have to offer here. It literally took like an hour and a half.
Oh, it was an hour and a half.
It was not like, I know we just told this story and it seemed like it was fairly quick and simple. Rob and I, because we felt bad. We walked the entire garage with our backpacks on and everything for a good 90 minutes. We had to involve garage security.
Steps? I had 24,000 steps yesterday. That's little over 8 miles.
What?
Yes.
I don't think that you're defining miles correctly. A mile is 5,200.
I'm sorry. I'm at over 8 miles for the week.
Okay. I was going to say.
But I had 24,000 steps yesterday. A little over 3 miles yesterday.
So for me, it's impossible, though.
I don't think yours is monitored.
Or it just died.
I think so. Yeah. We had far more steps than that. But we had a lot to do yesterday and today. Man, the great thing about Vegas is the volume got turned up a little earlier. The amplitude of the Wednesday Radio Row was great, and these stars are coming. I get the sense today is going to be something else. We got a great one lined up for you as well. Jaylin Hyatt, he's in the limo. The great thing about talking with Jaylin Hyatt, wide receiver with your New York Giants, formerly at Tennessee, we talked to him last year, had a chance to talk to him, catch up with him for a year after an interesting rookie season. We will also talk with Dan Marino.
Dan Marino,
the triple threat, the star of stage, screen, and commercial, will sit in with us. He's pushing M&Ms and a golden ring, and he's a star. You will discuss many of his movie roles, both Ace Ventura and Bad Boys 2.
We also have Tony Pollard,
which is rich with irony.
Yeah, and so I want to address, I took your cries very seriously. Those of you who are in the Brigade Bar.
Yes, thank you.
Who are watching along in the chat. If you'd like, these interviews are accessible now on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. So dance around, subscribe, turn on the notifications. You can watch them. They're available for you because we want to make sure that you are taken care of, and we know that you have concerns and you were heard.
Now, we're going to have an interesting day because the way that these interviews are set up, some of them are scheduled far in advance, and some of them are scheduled on the fly. And you see guys like, hey, man, I'd love to see, and I'd love to talk to Jordan Addison. And they're like, yeah, okay, we'll set things up. Well, sometimes things get set up, and we look at our calendar, and we're busy. So we're going to actually do a first. In the 9 o'clock hour, I'm going to interview Andrew Zimmern,
who is like
my Patronus. Andrew Zimmern is anybody who's been listening to me for the last 8 years here on this station. I am a food guy. I like to cook. And Andrew Zimmern is a Food Network chef, TV star, always involved with the Super Bowl. He does one of those chef things where they cook for all the stars. He will be live with us today at 7:15. 9:15.
Yeah, 7:50.
7:50 my time. And while we're doing that, you're going to be talking with Jordan Addison, wide receiver with the Minnesota Vikings. His name first. He will go down, I think, when history writes the book of what happened in college football. He was the first NIL big money get. And his coach at Pittsburgh was the first one to say, this is bad. There's a problem because USC just bought my player. He's gone on to play with the Vikings, and I'm sure is a cool cat by any stretch. Did you sleep good with the thing you got yesterday?
I didn't. I didn't use it. So Tony Pollard.
Well, no, let's not spoil it.
Okay.
But Tony Pollard brought a gift, and RJ got it.
Well, look, I don't want to do this to you, but he brought a gift, and one of us was going to get it. That was the decision that they made. And I don't want to spoil that either, but
you were chosen.
I was.
Over me. And then another one off the beaten path, Bert Kreischer, the machine.
Oh, my
gosh. Stop by. You're going to have to listen to this one. He will be front and center a little bit after 8 o'clock, about 8:45 or so. So that's what we got. We got the Spurs going down at the beginning of the Rodeo Road Trip. We are one day closer to the big game, and we got you covered from every angle. We'll look at the lines themselves. Dave Mason, good friend of the show from Bet Online, will be here at 7:30. Hey, coming back, the row itself is cooking, and we're looking at the game itself. Jaylin Hyatt will be just around the corner at 6:30. So you know what your responsibilities are as follows. Make sure you are subscribed to the appropriate channels, liking as you move along throughout the day. Prepare your grievances to be exhaled at 9:30 and hold tight. We're talking Super Bowl, big game, and all that's going on here in Las Vegas coming up next. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Sports Star boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Road trip!
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Woo!
Think you gonna get away with it? Not up in here.
not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergenex, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Show your love this Valentine's with exquisite fashion jewelry from Diamonds Direct and save an extra 20%. Now through Valentine's, all fashion favorites at Diamonds Direct are on sale. All earrings, all bracelets, all necklaces, stackable bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and more. Lots of romantic and timeless gifts for under $500. Special financing available too. Don't miss this. An extra 20% savings on all fashion jewelry favorites at Diamonds Direct. Shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger. Because we have professional-grade supplies for every industry, even hard-to-find products. And we have same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life.
Hewitt!
So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
Is your phone plan messing with your savings plan? Don't get stuck paying for things you don't want. With Verizon, you only pay for what you need. And for a limited time, when you bring your own phones to a Verizon store, you'll get an amazing price on your plan. Plus, you'll save on things you actually love, like the Netflix and Max with Ads bundle. And it's on our award-winning 5G network. Bring your phones to your Verizon store today for an incredible deal. A better plan to save is Verizon. Additional terms and conditions apply.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
What's wrong, Cupid?
Chris, I've lost my mojo. These arrows just don't work like they used to. The facts are people fall in love thanks to Connecticut, not poor old Cupid.
You don't say.
Oh, absolutely. Look over there. She's got silky smooth hair thanks to a Connecticut water softener. He's got softer skin and cleaner clothes, and now they're all lovey-dovey. Makes me sick.
Don't feel bad, Cupid. You still have your bow and arrow.
I'll rub it in, Chris. I know a Connecticut runs on kinetic energy like my bow and arrow. There's no computer to break. A Connecticut has it all.
This is Chris Canepa with Connecticut and San Antonio in the Hill Country. There's a reason people love their Connecticut. Right now, I'll let you try one for 90 days, absolutely free with no contract. Just call 656-PURE.
You know, you're right, Chris. I love my Connecticut, too. My diapers never looked so white. And my wings, oh, I look good.
Cupid, you can always come to work for me.
You serious, Chris?
But you're going to have to wear pants.
ConnecticutSA.com. Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's got to be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is Tony Pollard, and you're listening to The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
He's in the limo. Gather around, let's huddle up. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, coming to you live from Media Row in beautiful downtown Las Vegas. Courtesy of AA Best Bail Bonds. If you're watching live, you'll see the footballs that we have on our... These are the autograph footballs.
Rob, this is your camera.
Oh, but I'm looking... See, there it is. I was showing it to my monitor and not my cameras. Synergenics. And if we can find a kicker today, Robbie Gold, is he around still?
Don't bring that up. All right. We
got ghosted.
Well, so here's the thing. Like, we're new, Morning Huddle. Like, this is the first week of the name, and we've got all this stuff now, right? We got, we've named the chat,
the brigade.
We've named the audience. I think we have a new sworn enemy,
Robbie Gold.
Yeah, he big timed us.
He did.
It happens around here. That's okay.
Revenge is a best served a cold kind of dish.
What?
Revenge.
I know, but you worded that really weirdly.
Well, I started out awkwardly,
okay.
like many days.
Okay.
Do you think we were supposed to? And forgive me if I'm gonna bring it up now. We're gonna take a lot of abuse today because RJ and I lost the van. We found it.
It was found.
The van lost us. It never. Well, anyway, we have the van. But in our defense, and I want to rest on this till the end of time, we didn't know we were gonna drive.
I mean,
and everything from that point on should be taken as a feeble excuse because we lost the car. But in our defense, we didn't know we were going to drive, and we're going to get destroyed today. This is going to be one of those days.
I mean, you gotta grin it and bear it.
Oh yeah, just going to have to dive in and hold on.
Look, I've been told in my life that I look a lot like Ross from Friends, and I've been told that I act a little bit like Seinfeld, just like my natural mannerisms. You
do have a neat freak to you. I will admit.
It was kind of cool. Now that it's over, to live through.
No, it's terrible.
It was kind of cool. I mean, look, we all survived. We got a lot of steps in. You almost got abducted.
Oh my goodness. In all the excitement, I forgot to tell everybody what happened to me in the parking garage. So I'm walking around holding the key fob above my head, pressing it.
Oh yeah.
1,000 times.
Rob wore that thing down.
Hoping for just a distant honk. There's about 10,000 white Chrysler Pacificas in the Mandalay Bay parking garage. So, and they look a lot like Toyota Siennas, Dodge Durangos, and any other white paneled side van. But I'm on a floor by myself, and it's a busy parking garage. And I think it was like an Escalade, a Cadillac pulled up. And two Middle Eastern looking dudes, one guy rolls his window down and says, "Assalamu alaikum, my brother." And I went, "Hey, man." He goes, "Hey, come here." And he waved to me to come close to the van. I said, "No, bro, I'm good here. What can I do you for?" And he was like, "Oh, okay," and sped off.
Wow. That was when we were.
He was going to kidnap me. I had stranger danger.
Yeah.
All those videos, those after school specials way back when, they worked.
Wow.
It did.
Dare.
Well, this is pre-Dare. This is when you'd get home and it would be like 3:30. And today, on a very special after-school special.
Was this the era of The More You Know?
This is even before that. This was the days of Schoolhouse Rock when we learned our things through jingles and half-hour specials when Sarah's becoming a woman. One of those shows.
Wow.
Come on right after school on ABC, the after-school special.
Okay.
And I learned. See,
they offered you candy. And
I didn't get close enough. They couldn't have. They said, "Will you help us find our puppy?" And I was like, "I'm not."
So yesterday was a really busy day. Obviously, like we were. I mean, I didn't stop. And in addition to everything that we were doing, had some friends. Our friends in Waco. Ward White hit me up, said, "Hey, can you jump on the show?" So I did that. I have a couple of friends in New York said, "Hey, can you jump on, kind of talk about the scene?" And everybody wants to know, what's it like? What's going on, whatever. Yesterday felt like the Super Bowl. Like it finally did. Monday, and that's normal. We'll say, in my experience, this is the first time that the big time national shows waited till Wednesday to get here. And so, like, Pat McAfee has a big set around here. They weren't here Monday and Tuesday.
Well, he's the only ESPN national representative here.
Right. But, I mean, even, friends with Kay Adams, she wasn't here, early in the week. Sirius has been here all week long. But these big-time national shows weren't here Monday and Tuesday, which was kind of an interesting move. I don't know what the thought was.
Well, there's a lot of thought. There's a great piece I read on the history of the Radio Row.
And you read this in front office?
I believe it was in SI.
Okay.
The Radio Rows began back in the early 90s, 91, 92.
Mike and the Med.
Yeah, it was a New York station just following. They're playing in Jersey. They wanted to set up in a hotel room or in a lobby of a hotel. The hotel said, "Well, yeah, you can do it, but you're going to have to pay us." Well, they went across the street to a Holiday Inn. And the next thing, the NFL said, "Why don't y'all all gather together? This is working. There's a lot of people watching you guys, and this is free pub." And it grew to the point where I guess the apex was probably about Houston was huge. Houston was a huge Radio Row.
You talking the most recent Houston?
Yes.
Okay.
It was as big as we'd seen.
Some of that is the George R. Brown convention.
Yes, it's just a massive thing anyway. Yeah. But I do think that once COVID hit, there were a lot of stations that didn't come back.
Well, I think we talk about this all the time with a lot of things like that made it so easy to do things virtually.
Right.
It really didn't, it more than knocked down. I mean, it really tore down, these talent that were probably like, Zoom, what? I'm not doing it. They could just sit at their homes all day and go through the car wash.
What we've seen was a transition from all these many radio stations that would come to Radio Row, as it was aptly named, to more of a mass media row, because every radio station that didn't come has been replaced by a very specific podcast or influencer or whatever, and it's added to the flavor of the show, of the row. It's a very different feel. 10 years ago, it was a bunch of old dudes, a bunch of 50-year-old sports talk guys stumbling around, and it's a very, very different vibe now because of the new digital influence on the game. And you can tell by just the way the row looks. When we first started coming, you couldn't have banners. They wanted people to be able to see across and see everything. Now everybody's got to have a banner and a backdrop and cameras and lights and all that. So it's what went from a series of radio studios is now a bunch of TV studios. I mean, that's what we've got surrounding them. We're talking about hundreds of them in one room. So that's just kind of a flavor of what we got going. And as we sit in this vacuous hall, this feels very much like 10 years ago. We got 10 stations cooking early in the morning, as is RJ Ochoa. Hey, coming up, we have a fine young man. His name is Jaylin Hyatt, a fine wide receiver. Came out of Tennessee. He's playing for the bad guys, but he's a good kid. He will join us. Jaylin Hyatt sitting in on the morning huddle right here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's coming next. But first, I want to tell you about San Antonio Card House. It's a busy February, and you need to take advantage of all that they have to offer. You know why? Because those of us that like to play a little bit cards, whether you're after it, you're looking for the friends and the fam and the fun, or you're really out there to prove your mettle, there's no better place than SA Card House over at 281 and Bitters. One, it's the private club. They're going to treat you as a member, as you should be treated. The kitchen is fantastic. 3 chefs, all 5 stars. They all have their specialties, and the food it really is worth the visit. Trust me on this. And then the cards, and then the dealers, and the environment's safe. 24 hours on the weekends. You got all the games that are happening. If you haven't played, go learn. They'll take care of you there. But if you're a player, you respect game, and they've got the cash games you're chasing. You got the dealers that understand the friendly environment, the safety in the parking lot, everything you're chasing. On top of all that, just being there pays off. Games going on all week, all month long. Love it or risk it. If you love it, you can risk it. There's loser bet, bad bet NLH tournaments with $5,000. 40% goes to the losing hands. All the details while you're there. More time you sit playing, there's more opportunity to win. You win up to $20K on a risk it tumbler. There's 800 tickets that are going out all month long. $100 cash draws. They're spinning wheels. Just being there is fun enough, but then there's the value of the games that go along with it. Trust me, it is SA Card House, 281 and Bitters. Go there today, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is day 4 on Radio Row at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Another star-studded guest list highlighted by Cowboys running back Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard is going to stop by, and also guys with gold jackets like Bruce Smith. He's going to be here. We'll also visit with Jaws, Ron Jaworski, Warren Sapp, and so much more.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is time to play Past the Pigskin for a chance to win $5,000 cash and tailgate prize packs. Celebrate with Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds by entering the Pork Rind Appreciation Day giveaway at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And don't forget to pick up your favorite bold flavored protein packed Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds today at HEB.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
Chris Brockman here from the world-famous Rich Eisen Show. Football's regular season may be over, but that doesn't mean your fantasy season is. The big game is right around the corner, and basketball season is really heating up. There's no better way to get in on the action than with Prize Picks, the #1 daily fantasy sports app. This isn't like other daily fantasy apps where you're playing against a bunch of sharks. It's just you against the numbers. And with the right selections, you could turn $10 into $1,000 with just a few taps. For the big game, I'm picking San Francisco's running back over touchdowns and Kansas City's tight end over receptions. With over 7 million sports fans already signed up, I am one of them. Right now, PrizePicks will match your first deposit up to $100. They're even offering a big game special. If Kansas City's quarterback throws for more than 1 yard, you win. Just download the PrizePicks app and use the code PRIMETIME. That's code PRIMETIME on PrizePicks for a first deposit match of up to $100. PrizePicks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy. Must be present in certain states. Visit PrizePicks.com for restrictions and details.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Tax day is coming.
Oh, no.
But if you sign up for Robinhood Gold's IRA with a 3% match, you can get up to $195 for the 2023 tax year.
Oh, yeah.
Sign up at Robinhood.com/boost by tax day to get the biggest contribution match on the market. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Robinhood Financial, LLC, member SIPC.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save on bulk purchases of select insulation from trusted brands like Green Fiber. And there's more. Save 10% when you buy 6 or more select interior pre-hung and slab doors. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
Sick and tired of achy joints? Dread the idea of surgery? You need to call QC Kinetics today. Hey, it's James Spudger with San Antonio Sports Star. Listen, the state of healthcare is always changing. The old ideas like steroids and surgery are no longer your only options. Regenerative medicine at QC Kinetics is transforming lives with innovative and non-surgical drug-free treatments that deliver lasting results. Knee pain, back pain, shoulder pain, pain from arthritis or injury. Don't let this pain keep you from living your best life. QC Kinetics' advanced state-of-the-art treatments harness and direct your body's natural ability to restore and repair damaged joint tissue. This is a revolutionary approach that can get you long-term relief with no downtime. Make 2024 the year you reclaim your mobility, reclaim your independence, walk, run, play, and live without the danger and trauma of surgery and without harmful drugs. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. Locations in Hollywood Park, Westover Hills, and New Braunfels.
It's Rob and RJ, live from Radio Row for Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas.
Hey, everybody gather up. We got something to talk about. It is the Morning Huddle. He is RJ Ochoa, managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I am Rob Thompson, the bespectacled professor today. Hey, we're a little hungover, but things are popping up on a busy Radio Row. We told you he was coming. Here he is. Jaylin Hyatt, wide receiver, should have been a Cowboy. He ain't. He's a Giant. We get to talk to him yet again. You know, Jaylin, we had a chance last year to talk to you prior to the draft and got a chance to get to you and see what was like getting into the draft. If you could talk to yourself this time last year, 365 days, almost to the day, what would you tell yourself?
Don't think that much.
Yeah.
You know, keep preparing. As far as combine wise, if I had to go back, I think I was thinking too much, man.
Mm-hmm.
Just, you know, when you get on that stage, you know, it's a whole different story. So I think that's the biggest thing I tell myself. Just go out there and do you. At the end of the day, that's probably what I say.
Yeah, I feel like for rookies, I know the season's been over about a month now, but you know your college season ends and you start combine prep, and you got to do, you know, maybe you come to Radio Road. Not everybody does, whatever, but then you got to interview with teams, or some guys are doing the Senior Bowl or whatever the case. Then you get drafted, and then you got to be a pro. So like you're kind of like off for the first time in about a year.
Yeah. This is my first time where I'm really off my legs. You know, because right now, if I had to go back last year, I'll be training for the 40, or you know, doing something, as far as getting ready for the combine. But, just taking a break off my legs for the first time, actually sitting back and just resting, relaxing, and, getting right back ready for year 2, because, football comes fast, man. It comes right back to you, so, take a little break now, but, when March come by, I'm right back out there trying it again. So
RJ put it great. You just spent roughly 2 consecutive years training and prepping.
Yeah.
How long has it been, or have you reached that point where you're waking up and nothing hurts? Nothing's
it was for myself personally, like when week 10, week 11, week 12, really week 13, when that hit, it kind of hit me like, man, this is a long season, because you go from college playing 12 games, and obviously if you make playoffs, it's a little more, but you get a little break between those. You play 12 games, that's it. Up here you play a little more, play 18 games. So it was a little, from myself, when week 13 hit, I had to start learning, okay, like, what do I need to do with my body? How do I need to start preparing? Like, do I need to get in the ice tub more? Do I need to start doing more on my, as far as massages, or, just anything therapeutic that I knew that could help. And it really starts with the vets. That's kind of who I laid up.
Who's the guy you go to?
Yeah, for myself, it was Sterling Shepard.
Good call.
He was just the leader in that room, the vet in that room. And, I just asked him about little things, and and not only that, I had a locker right beside him too as well. So he always stayed on me, just right there, always making sure I'm doing the right things, making sure I'm, on time, early, everything that you need to do as a rookie, he was making sure I was doing. And, anytime I needed advice, I'll go to him. So, I'll say Shep for sure, with my advice.
I told you I covered the Dallas Cowboys. You were pumped. I mean, you were like so excited about that, obviously. But obviously covering the Cowboys, I've got heavy eyes, heavy ears on the NFC East. And, coming off of the 2022 season, the Giants were in this super interesting spot. They draft Jaylin Hyatt. Holy crap, that sucks. I would have loved for him to have gone anywhere else. I was a big fan of you and Josh Downs. So he goes to the Colts. That's not my problem. You're kind of my problem. And that's okay. But it was an interesting season, right? Like everything kind of somber at first, but then this like fun energy, all the injuries to really felt like everybody. The Tommy DeVito story becomes its own thing, and you're dealing with life as a professional for the very first time. I mean, your overall, now that you've had some time to decompress, thoughts on your first season with the New York Giants?
Yeah, just, if I had to look back at it, it was a difficult season for us, for sure, and what makes it hard, for myself, when I was on the field is, we had 3 different rotating quarterbacks. Obviously we started with DJ, he gets hurt, we put Tyrod in, and he gets hurt, and DJ kind of gets back, he gets hurt again, and then we put Tommy out in the fire, so as a receiver, what people really don't understand is, man, it's hard to play with 3 different rotating quarterbacks because all quarterbacks like their own things. Not all quarterbacks are the same. Tyrod likes his specific plays. Tommy DeVito likes his specific plays, and DJ obviously likes his specific. So it's a whole different thing, as far as when we were, preparing for games. It was difficult with that, and at the end of the day, injuries happen. In the league, injuries happen in college. So I can't, you can't sit here and make an excuse about that. So, but as a team, I still feel solid about us. We have great players, in that locker room. We have good vets in that locker room. I think for us, it's just we just got to come and be a complete team, and play as a complete team, because we have done that in some games. And just for myself, I know I can obviously get better. And that's just going to come, with reps and, just all with a new season and just, all those things. But just as far as year 1, it was a little difficult, but at the end of the day, I feel like it made me a better player, and that's what you want. So I just can't wait for year 2.
On the subject of reps, like I said, I keep tabs on everything. And there's, when a team has a season like that, a lot of fans say like, okay, people say tank. I mean, you hear all this different stuff, whatever, but people get, kind of have to focus on the future, right? They start to kind of, throw their old toys away or whatever. And Jaylin Hyatt's a big, part of the New York Giants future. And so a lot of people that I follow are like, why is Jaylin Hyatt not involved more? Why is, they want to see that because they want to see the future accelerate because they're tired of whatever's happening in the moment. This happens to teams all over sports. Do you view yourself as kind of the Sterling Shepard to the future guys? I mean, because I don't know how you couldn't or you wouldn't given the success you've had to this point in your life.
Yeah, I'm a very confident player. And, I think just really just everything with it is that I just want to be the best player I can be. And even though that I might have had limited opportunities, it is what it is. I can't look back at it and be like, man, like they didn't throw me the ball. They didn't do this. Like, it doesn't matter at this point. My focus now is year 2. My focus now is like, okay, you did what you had to do year one. Like, what can we do to improve year two? That's my mindset. I don't even think about year one anymore. And I know I'm gonna get more opportunities this year. I know that this year can be the year for me, and every year can be the year for you. It's all about opportunity. So I'm gonna take advantage of my opportunities this year. Whenever they come, and hopefully do whatever I got to do to help us win games.
Jaylin Hyatt, wide receiver, New York Giants, former Tennessee Volunteer, number 13 in your scorebook, number 1 in your heart. What's it like in New York? I mean, you got the city, you got the Apple, you got a little bit of money in your pocket, you're playing a big time. Is that the place you wanted to be? Is it everything you thought New York would be?
Yeah, New York is one of the spots I wanted to be. Only thing that sucks about New York is taxes.
Wow, something you didn't even think about this time last year.
Oh my gosh, and so that's the only thing about it. But obviously it's New York. You got the food spots. You got really anything you can think of is in New York. But I don't go to New York. As far as New York City that much.
Right. You stay in Jersey? Where you live?
Yeah, I stay in Jersey. About 15 minutes away from the facility. So I'm right there. But at the same time, if I need to get to the city, it's only 10 minutes away.
Have you done a show? Have you seen like Cats? I mean, have you done the Broadway stuff? Have you done anything like that?
I was supposed to. I'm gonna do a whole bunch of things this offseason.
Yeah, well, now you have time.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go to a Knicks game, see how that is. I want to go to one of those runaway shows. Just to sit there and just watch it. Just to watch it. But
of the city for sure.
Yeah, everything like that. So I'm gonna definitely make sure I have some time where I can really experience New York City and and actually see its full value. Because when I got here last year, I was it was straight to OTA, rookie mini camp, OTAs training. So it was a little different story. So yeah, I'll definitely. Scope it out a little more.
Life very different for you, doing different things, probably signing a lot more autographs, stuff that you hadn't done in your past. Right, and Jaylin Hyatt. It's really inconvenient for you that your last name wasn't Jaylin $1 billion. Because the fact that it's Jaylin Hyatt has led you here today.
Yes.
It worked out greatly, but $1 billion would have been kind of cool. But you had the NIL deal with Hyatt, and it just was like the most obvious thing in the world. It's cool that it was able to work out. What are you doing with Hyatt now? Obviously, as the offseason.
Do you check in as Mr. Hyatt?
Yeah, exactly.
They go like, oh crap, Mr. Hyatt's coming.
Yeah, I do check in as Mr. Hyatt. That's one of the best parts about it is when I go in there and I'm like, what's your
He's
name?
younger than I thought
Mr.
he would
Hyatt.
be.
Yeah. So
the boss.
Yeah, I definitely say some stuff like that too.
So the perks. I mean, can you just like head down to Mexico, sit in a Hyatt property?
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's what I'm trying to do. With my family this year around March. Because I never been out the country. My family had never been out the country, so it's gonna be a great time. Hyatt, going at a Hyatt resort, staying in Mexico, and spending time with my family, for a couple of days, and heading back. So, but just talking about Hyatt, just everything they have done, just partnerships. Obviously, I had a little NIL deal with them my junior year, but now it's more of a contract thing.
Sure.
Now. And really, it's just because the relationship we have, I have with them, and I think we have the same, outlooks on what we see. They value relationships, they value families, they make sure everybody is good. And that's what I love to do as well.
Great brands hanging together,
as a human, and that's one thing about it. They care about family. I care about my family. We all care about family. So, that's probably the biggest thing about this partnership. Not just because of the the Hyatt name and because my name's Hyatt, their name's Hyatt, but I think just the overall value of knowing that we see the same things and want the same things, and that's the best thing about it. And that's what I love about this partnership.
Great. It's great to find partnerships with people who think the same way as you. And when you find that, it's going to be a long lasting relationship. We got to ask you, man, are you going to be for the game and who you like?
Yeah. I played against the 49ers. I want to say week 3.
Is that Thursday night game?
Yeah. Thursday night game. And only thing I remember from that game is, whenever DJ would, snap the ball. Remember, I run around and I look back and he's scrambling for his life.
For the rest of the season, right there,
just scrambling for his life. So, man, I like the 49ers. I think they're a complete team. But the problem with it is I can't bet against Patrick Mahomes. He's been there before. He won it before. I feel like he has good guys around him. I'm very big on Rashid Rice. That's a rookie. I like him a lot. I think he's going to have a big game in the slot. Chiefs defense as well. They're complete, and I know the 49ers is a complete team as well. At the same time, they come out, first hitting. They might end up winning the game, but I really think it's going to be Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs that win. And if I had to have a score, I'd probably say 24-17, just because of how the 49ers play. They like to, hold the possession of the ball a lot. They love to run the ball, obviously, with Christian McCaffrey. And they just there. I think their time of possession is crazy. I remember when we played them, like they had the ball like the whole first quarter,
right?
And then we're just sitting on the sideline, like, man, when we gonna get out there?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so
that's one thing they're very, very good at. And if they do come, if the 49ers come out and they control the time, they control their possession on offense, then I have to go with them. But right now I'm going Chiefs 24-17.
That makes sense. And you're right. The Patrick Mahomes of it all, I got to imagine, is you're a confident player, but there's some level of you that that you're just like, that's Patrick Mahomes, and you have a heart, you have to break. So that's what the Niners are fighting against, more than just the great team. They're fighting against that psychology.
That's the biggest thing about it. And 49ers got a great team. We all know that they're a complete team. They have an O-line, they have the running backs, they have receivers. They have a quarterback who's good at managing the ball, who doesn't throw in traffic, doesn't throw a lot of picks. He just manages the offense, and that's what you need. And that's how you win games. And not only that, their defense. Obviously their D-line. They get back there quick, and if they do that against the Chiefs, they will have that chance. But the problem is that we're talking about Patrick Mahomes, and I always believe that you go as far as your quarterback, and with Patrick Mahomes, we all know what he can do. Obviously he's a Hall of Fame type player, and if he comes out and he's hitting, it's going to be a long game.
Watch out for Hendon Hooker this year in Detroit, by the way, on the subject of quarterbacks. That's one of the most interesting storylines of the offseason, and his return and how Detroit handles that.
Good dude. I love him. Obviously he's my quarterback in college, and we have a great relationship. And always, when he got drafted to the Lions, I thought that was a perfect spot for him, man. Perfect spot, because now he's getting back healthy. I think that's a perfect spot for him. He has receivers around him. He has running backs. Mm-hmm. He has a duo of running backs. He has a good old line, great coaching staff. It's a great spot for him.
It's Detroit, but other than that, it's a nice place to be.
Detroit.
He is Jaylin Hyatt, and he is right here on Radio Row. New York Giant wide receiver. Check him all season long. Thanks for stopping by, man. It's a genuine
Enjoy
pleasure.
Mexico.
Yeah, man.
I will. Take it easy on the Cowboys.
Jaylin Hyatt right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
The Sports Star boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Road trip! Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and Woo!
I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergenics, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-785-9545. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-785-9545 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-785-9545 to see if you qualify. That's 800-785-9545.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind there at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
At Edwin Watts Golf Shops, there's something that binds us all. The collective goal to transcend the ordinary. Introducing the all-new TaylorMade QI10 Max Driver, combining TaylorMade distance with the forgiveness of 10K inertia. Experience your drives in 10K. Visit us in-store for a free custom fitting at your local Edwin Watts Golf Shops or shop us online at worldwidegolf.com. Get there.
Okay, 3 more climbers, 7 loggers.
Ted's sustainably sourced logging company is growing a new branch.
What about truck driver contracts?
Which means a new HR manager will be the first hire to fall.
Then we'll need to staff up the warehouse.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
Hey, what's up? I'm Elle Duncan, host of the Elle Duncan Show. If you're looking for a podcast that gives you a little bit about a lot and a lot about nothing, you come to the right place. There's pop culture, there's sports, really anything that we find particularly interesting that you're talking about on social media. And oh yeah, I do it with this guy named Gary Streisky, who's a homie.
Hey, Elle, what's going on? Thanks for the mention. Can I get on the graphic now?
No. Follow and listen to the Elle Duncan Show wherever you get your podcasts.
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
Super Bowl 58 in Vegas is set. It's the Chiefs and Niners. Hear it right here on your exclusive home for the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Hey, huddle up. It's the Morning Huddle. He's RJ. I'm Rob. On the other side of the double pane glass, about 850 miles from where I sit, is Edwin Hafner, Easy E, the birthday boy. Happy birthday, young man. It is always a day to celebrate appropriately. I'm surprised you're there. You know, at our fine establishment, you get your birthday, a holiday. It's a floating holiday that, you know, you can take whenever you'd like. Edwin, when are you taking yours?
The Tuesday after President's Day.
Settle down. It's just your birthday.
Well, Edwin was strategic about it. So, I mean, I
see he's
applaud
getting
that.
the extra day.
Well, Edwin, as he ages, is getting more and more wise. So, happy birthday, Edwin. I hope it's the best day ever because you deserve it.
As such.
Would have been better if the Cowboys were playing this week.
It would have.
You know, Edwin.
I mean, it's the little things that we're chasing.
We don't have to, pick at that. I mean,
maybe the Spurs will gift you they will give you a new player or make a move that will give us some hope in the darkness of February in the NBA. Trade deadline is 3 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock San Antonio time. We will pay very close attention to that. Come back, it's silver and black. Spurs go down, lose the first of a 9-game roadie. Think I'll be able to turn it around against Orlando? Will this team stay as put together, and will they wear those brown warm-ups again? So much to talk about. Silver and black on the other side as your Radio Row coverage continues live from Miami. He's RJ, I'm Rob. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The professional football playoffs are here.
Out of the gun, back to Dak. Left side of the end zone. Touchdown!
14 teams with only one goal in sight. The big game in Las Vegas. Presented by Flight by Yingling. Hear it on your exclusive home. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and StraightTalk.com. For network management practices, visit StraightTalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines, all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
My name is Dustin. I'm the head designer for Cody James Black Boots, and this is Behind the Design with Boot Barn. The objective with this new line was basically to create a collection of boots that were going to be elevated, quality made, using the finest materials and craftsmanship available. Some of the key quality construction details that carry throughout the line would be premium cowhide lining, hand-nailed leather soles, and simplistic design. Cody James Black, only at Boot Barn.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Nothing says I love you like romantic, timeless jewelry. Even better when you can save an extra 20%. Right now at Diamonds Direct, all fashion favorite jewelry is 20% off. That's earrings, bracelets, pendants, bands, colored gemstone jewelry. Get 20% off Diamonds Direct's already unbeatable prices. Special financing too. Get her something she can enjoy and appreciate for years to come. A fashion favorite from Diamonds Direct. Shop in-store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
We're in the studio right now with Jose Rios from the Gomez Law Firm. Jose, tell us a little about Gomez Law.
Number one priority is to let the people know that we are a law firm that's been part of this community for almost 50 years. You know, Mr. Gomez, he's been a practicing attorney here since 1973. He's born and raised here in San Antonio, done nothing but help out personal injury victims for almost half a century. It's very important that we get that out to the San Antonio community because a lot of these attorneys like to come in here and act like they're from here, but you know, they're all out-of-towners. They don't know what goes on here. They really don't know.
If you have been injured in an accident, injured at work, or hit by a company vehicle, don't take on the big insurance companies by yourself. Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
We've been around for almost 50 years and we're not going anywhere. And remember, Gomez Law fights.
If you have been injured in an accident, injured at work, or hit by a company vehicle, the first place you need to go is joegomezlaw.com.
Okay, if you love playing fantasy sports like I do, take it to the next level with Prize Picks. It's the #1 daily fantasy sports app. This is Rob Thompson, and right now, with the big game around the corner, NBA in full swing, there's no better way to get into the action than with Prize Picks. Just select or less on their projections on a wide variety of stats and place your entry. It's that easy. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that in 2 taps. I love the easy gameplay, the quick withdrawals and huge selection of players, the stat options, and more. And check this out. PrizePicks is the only daily fantasy platform with injury perfection insurance. It'll keep you in the game even if one of your players isn't. It's great. Over 7 million sports fans have already signed up, and I'm one of them. So join me and watch your favorite players and get paid doing it right now. Just download the PrizePick app and use the code Alamo. That's Alamo on PrizePicks for your first deposit. They'll match up to $100. PrizePicks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NBA, the San Antonio Spurs hit the Rodeo Road Trip circuit and lost to Miami promptly. Wemby had him a double-double. Jimmy Butler had a triple-double. Miami wins. The Cowboys continue their coaching search. Next on the docket, Todd Archer tells us his New York Jets safeties coach, Marquand Manuel, scheduled to interview today. Talking about the Aggies and the Longhorns, but Spurs are coming up next.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Wembanyama goes behind the back here. Oh, little sidestep and a jam by Wembanyama.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here's Rob and RJ.
Hey, gather around. We got something to talk about. It's the Morning Huddle. He's RJ Ochoa, the managing editor. I'm Rob Thompson, the bespectacled loser of cars here on Media Row. How you feeling this morning, RJ?
Better now. I've got the caffeine flowing. I've got some tea. Although last time I made a cup, it was awkward. The table that they have the coffee and tea set up in is not very large. And normally when we get there, it's, when we get here in the mornings, there aren't a lot of people here. You can do this, I believe. Here,
I'm going to have to flip sides a bit there. Okay,
yeah, you can do this.
I didn't want to break things off. We got a full show. Tony Pollard's headed our way.
He is.
Tony Pollard on.
I was just saying the table to set up your coffee and tea is rather small. And for the first time, because when we get here, nobody's here, there was somebody else there. So it's really awkward because I was taking my time to add this and stir that, and the guy was waiting, and it was just I was stressed, and I felt a lot like when we were looking for the car. But we were looking for that car while the Spurs game was going on.
Right. And
thankfully, Joe Reinagle was kind of play-by-playing it as you and I were running here, running there, up and down. It was a cool way to experience the Spurs game, even though they lost.
Oh, yeah, we did go down. It's trade deadline. We should know something by 2:00 today. That's the deadline.
I want to know everything.
Yeah, as is typical for Spurs fans, you hope for something, and as expected, I don't think much will happen. I will be, I'll be happy to see some kind of movement, and I do know for a fact that Chetty Osman and Doug McDermott are prized quantities for teams that are looking for playoffs shooting, but no imminent rumors have floated for the last couple of weeks, and that could be a good thing, knowing how the Spurs like to operate behind the scenes. Last night I saw Windhorse bring up Utah and Golden State might be working for the Kelly Olynyk deal. Andrew Wiggins and Klay Thompson are certainly on the mark there.
Do you buy that? There's no way that Klay gets moved.
Oh, I buy that. Klay's a shadow of himself. This team is in.
You can't do that to him, though.
I think he would be happy to go, and I'm not sure how much those guys like him. He's just not what he was.
Well, duh. But I mean,
the 76ers are expected to make a move or two. I don't know how that would play into the Spurs' opportunity with Joel Embiid down. The Pistons have Alec Burke and Bogdanovich on the shelf. I'm not sure if there's anything there. Miles Bridges, great baller. There's lots of off the field issues with him. Seems to be on the market with Charlotte. None of those seem to fit. I'm trying to find something positive to talk about on a day when the Rodeo Road Trip started out with a game where they actually played for 3 quarters. I think Edwin said it best. He said they had their third quarter in the fourth quarter, and watched Jimmy Butler and crew separate in the fourth and just kind of take it away. Wemby didn't have a point a minute, but he got another double-double, which he's far and away.
We keep the assist streak alive? They're 20?
Let's see if we did. Let me pull up the box score. I believe we did.
The tension. There has to be at least 20 assists. That's when the world truly falls apart, when the Spurs fall below 20 assists in the game.
We can continue the celebration. We had 30 assists.
Thank goodness.
And yet another meaningless assist night as
Dude, they're so bad. And you know what's been interesting is people are walking by our table here, and we are kind of loud, and so they're kind of like, "Really? Y'all are this down?" Yes. I mean, like, I think the 30,000-foot perspective from people around,
like, what are you upset about?
Yeah, like nationally or within the state is like, you're the Spurs, everything's fine. No, what are you like? I don't think anyone is paying proper attention.
Or are we paying too much and expecting too much? Is really because I have found the sense around the country that they don't view the Spurs as underperforming.
Wow.
I think they view the Spurs as a little archaic. And I think they view the Spurs as interesting, but they don't look at them as an abject failure like we do, for whatever reason. And some of that, it's quite sad because the expectations were so low. Because I do think on a national scale, when you take away the prism of your silver and black, they look at this team and go, yeah, what are you talking about? You don't have any talent. You guys think you're talented? You think that Devin Vassell is going to be the second to Wemby? You think
we don't think that? I mean,
the perception is Wemby's the only guy you got. I mean, what you got 10 wins. We're surprised you got that. That's really the feeling I get, and that's the sense was, as we were told from a guy who's won more games than anybody else, that this was a team that was capable and expected to contend for a playoff seed. Now, granted, a play-in position or an 8 seed, but contend at least up into April. They outside of San Antonio didn't get the message, didn't care, didn't care. All they see is Wemby. And Wemby should be enough, that it's enough for them, but they don't have to watch us every night. We have to watch this. And we've had to watch a inconsistent lineup. We've had to watch selfish and lazy play. We've had to watch so much that inside the bubble, we're far more down the tracks than most of the country. And I don't like the fact that we are considered that. Like, oh, what are you upset about? That's the look. And you're going to have Rookie of the Year. Chet's only got like 12 double-doubles. He's going to get it. So everybody calm down. He's going to All-Star Weekend.
I was thinking about this because we had Andrew Perloff on yesterday, and he talked about how he had a bet for that if Wemby does win Rookie of the Year, because he said he wasn't a believer. He thought he was going to be a bust and all this stuff. That he's going to drive down to San Antonio from New York for what it's worth. He didn't say that, just so everyone's clear. What's your are you down to maybe like 90% confidence that Wemby takes some Rookie of the Year? Are you still like,
oh, he's going to get it?
Okay.
So he was the first draft in that NBA's and that premier, what is it called? The Rising Stars or whatever it is. Right. He was the Pau Gasol's first draft. They released the draft order. He's running away with the statistical categories. The only thing he doesn't have is the W. But I think that little argument has been put to bed over the last 2 weeks. As somebody, those that like
Perloff.
It wasn't just Perloff. There's been others that have been throwing out Chet Holmgren just to be the naysayer. But I think even Perloff was the perfect example. Like, yeah, I went all in on Chet. That's not even close. I mean, that's I think how most people are looking at it. So there is that. But if he is that, and Wemby is living up to everything we thought he was going to be, shouldn't that be enough to be maybe 15 wins? I mean, we're worse than we were last year, and we got a guy better than anybody we've ever had. I don't get.
It's a weird, set of polar opposite factors and variables. I do want to offer a sacrifice from the brigade. Brian says trade Devin and Keldon, but then Rudy Gonzalez says I'm keeping Wendy, Jeremy, Jones, and I'd like to keep Osman. So no,
that is
no advocation
Rudolph.
for Devin.
Rudolph, man, no. So no, you're not. You don't want all of them.
We don't even have to say Wemby's off the table. Like that's obviously. Yes. But so there's nobody. Like take whoever you want. Like I mean, I'm not attached to anybody at this point.
Let me tell you, we have the myopia in Spurs. The Spurs Twitterverse is outlandish right now. We have to be realists here. There is no there on that roster.
I think we have to stop letting go of like the idea that this is the next diamond in the rough. This is the next, Manu. This is the next whatever. It's just not happening, man. It's just not.
Now, Wemby will be paired in the Rising Stars with on Team Powell. He'll be playing with Brandon Miller, Brandon Podziemski, Jaime Jaquez. We saw him last night. Jabari Smith, Cason Wallace. You know who Cason Wallace is?
Tell us.
His brother was a longtime star at UTSA, Keaton Wallace, who's now a part of the FIBA 3-on-3 Team USA roster. And Bilal Koulibaly, a former teammate of Wemby in France. Team Tamika will have Paolo Blanchero, Jaden Ivey, Jalen Duran, Keegan Murray, Scott Henderson, Keontae George, he formerly of Baylor and the Dallas region, and Dyson Daniels. Team Jalen will have Chet, Jalen Williams, Benedict Matherin, Shaden Sharp, Derek Lively II, Jordan Hawkins, and Walker Kessler, he formerly of Auburn. Team Detlef Shrimp, Izan Alamsa, Matas Boutzelis, Ron Holland, he of Plano, Mac McClung, he was the dunk champion. Gets to come back. You know, he's playing for the Osceola Magic. And Tyler Smith of G League and Oscar Chibwe and Alondis Williams. Oscar Chibwe made notoriety. Remember when he got the game ball for scoring his first NBA bucket while the Freak went out and got a triple-double, and they were a little upset that he didn't get to keep the ball. That's your Rising Stars Challenge, and that will be our lone representative from the San Antonio Spurs roster. Ooh. So settle down, be happy. The trade deadline today is at 2:00. We know the likely candidates. No rumors as we sit now as things are moving along, but you get the sense if there's an opportunity, they'll be there. What do you?
I mean, I think my probability meter on anything happening is below 50%, right? Like I'd say I'm maybe 30% confident that the Spurs are involved in a move. Like define, it could be anything you want. And then living within that 30%, there's no way the Spurs are trading for anyone. I think that they're moving away from someone if they make a move of any kind. And I think Cedi Osman is the most likely candidate in that sense. I don't think they're moving. As much as we're saying, like, oh, these guys are available, nobody's trading for Jeremy or Devin or Trey Jones right now. That's just not kind of the way this would unfold in this specific moment.
Well, a blockbuster I don't think is imminent. I think we can feel comfortable. Usher's doing halftime for the Super Bowl. For the NBA All-Star game, we'll have Jennifer Hudson.
What's your favorite Jennifer Hudson song?
I don't know. I've seen her do Broadway stuff, but I don't know.
She's got some pipes.
Yeah, I watched her win the music show. What was the?
I don't think. I really don't
she
know.
won something. She was like the Simon Cowell one.
America's Got. Yeah, there was another one. It might not be that.
There's a stand-up of Usher over there, a cardboard.
I know.
I feel the need to take a picture with him at some point coming up. The Spurs get busy again tonight. They get Orlando. They laid an egg last time we played against Orlando. Orlando's a big basketball team, a tall basketball team, and Paolo Blanchero showed off last time. I think the Spurs played in a situation against Miami. They did exactly what I thought they would do. They were crisp for 3 quarters. It wasn't lack of effort there for a while, but again, the inability to hold things together is just another symptom of what's going to be an ongoing disease all season long. We have a huge hour. If you missed any of our Silver and Black, you know where you can get it. SASportsStar.com. Make sure you are subscribed to our Silver and Black so you get all the updates as are completely appropriate.
By the way, Alexandra said in the Brigade Bar, it was American Idol.
That's what it was, American Idol. That's where I saw her. And I saw her do Chicago, the Broadway show. She was good in that.
Pop. 6.
Did you like it? Ladies and gentlemen, a tap dance. That's one of my favorite lines at any.
Cicero. Lip shift.
You're making me uncomfortable. You're making me uncomfortable, RJ Ochoa. Who's coming down the road? What do we got coming around the bend here?
Oh, by the way, Jedi Master said that she finished 5th, so you were wrong. She
finished 5th?
Yeah.
Who won that year?
I don't know. But either way, I got to offer an audio styling of Chicago, so I win. We have coming up, can I get a little beep, beep, Rob?
Little
beep, beep.
Beep, beep.
Yeah. Well, no, we have a better horn than that.
Where?
Well, no, like the horn of what's coming around the bend. Here on the show. The metaphorical horn of what's coming around the bend.
Oh, what you want me to do, right?
I want like a beep beep, like the car that's coming around the bend.
I'm
with
not
the
going to
guests.
do the beep beep.
Well, you did a tiny little beep beep,
like
our guests are coming on a moped.
Well,
but either way, coming up soon, we have Dave Mason of Bet Online. Lots of betting questions, obviously relative to this time of year, most specifically to this weekend. I don't know that they have odds on trade deadline. I doubt it, but
we'll talk to him about it.
But he's coming up live in about 13 minutes. Later on at 8:00. Tony Pollard, and I believe he has a gift to offer, an actual physical, tangible gift that you and I
will the gift be what the hell happened?
We're going to have to ask him what the hell happened. We have Dan Marino of Bad Boys 2 fame.
And Ace Ventura. I hear he can play a little bit of football.
I hate that you keep talking about that because Bad Boys 2 is the best movie ever made.
You're a big fan of the second best Bad Boys movie.
What? Bad Boys 2 is the best movie of all time.
It's not even as good as the first one.
I hate you with all of me. We also have Brett, your boy. Or not Brett, Bert.
Bert Kreischer, the machine. The stand-up comedian. You might have seen his movie stand-up. You see all of his stuff over on Netflix, and he will be around the bend. That should be fun.
Andrew Zimmern is coming up.
He is my patron of Food Network. He will be here live a little after 9 o'clock, 9:15. He'll be sitting in. Jordan Addison's already stopped by. If some of these things that have been pre-recorded, we're not going to dissuade you from that. So if you're on the stream, you want to see what's going on if for those that are in the car, you can watch them live. Just go to our YouTube channel and watch everything that's available now to you. Dave Mason around the bend. I've noticed that the line's coming down a little bit. I think people are paying a little bit more attention to the defenses. Does that mean anything to you?
You mean the over-under?
Yeah.
Not the line?
I mean, the over-under's coming down a little bit.
What is it now?
Well, I don't have it directly in front of me.
Well, I mean, I can have it.
You know, the problem, again, here's my problem with being in Vegas. I'm surrounded by everything that I want to do when I'm at home, but the thing I want to do while I'm here, I can only do while I'm at home.
So you can explain that in a moment, but the over-under is at 47.5.
That's a little high to me. I think it's going to keep
little
coming.
high.
I think that the defense is going to play a bigger role.
Life is way too short.
You don't think you think that there's a team either one of these teams can score 30?
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. And the line has moved a teeny bit. It originally opened with San Francisco as 2.5-point favorites. They're down to 2. So, you know.
Dave Mason, BetUS.com. Good friend of the show. BetOnline.com. Good friend of the show is going to be here at 7:30. If you have your questions, this is where your the scroll is outstanding. If there's something you're looking at, something to highlight, a parlay, he's the guy to ask. Are we at 100% gambling on the Super Bowl yet? If we include squares, what do you think the percentage of people in the United States that gamble on the Super Bowl are?
I think we're probably at a solid 95. It's you're the only person I know who uses the word scratch. And I think we're at a 95% of population having some sort of scratch involved.
The last I saw was actually 76%.
That's impossible.
If you're including squares.
You doing squares?
If people hit me up, I never do it myself. I feel like,
dude, that's an incredible responsibility that I want nothing to do with.
And I always feel like the guy that's putting it together somehow will weight it toward his friends. You know, I want to be there when the numbers are drawn.
Oh yeah,
because invariably, I'll get in on it. $100 later. What are your numbers? Well, you've got nothing but prime numbers. I don't know how that worked out.
Say it now. What numbers are ideal? The most ideal to have?
See, I'm an obvious guy.
Don't be like
07401.
Oh my gosh,
That's what 07401. I want those.
No. That's silly.
Well, what are they?
I mean, I don't know, statistically, but the score of last year's Super Bowl was 38-35.
What?
That was the final score last year, 38-35.
Oh, yeah.
So you're like Mr. 7-0.
Well, I just feel like the defenses aren't getting the credit that they're absolutely due.
Wow.
That's the kind of question that you talked to Dave Mason about.
Alexandra let us know in the Brigade Bar that that Fantasia Barrino won.
So she won.
3. Yeah, and Jennifer Hudson was 5th.
That's a good year.
Who thought we'd be talking about this right now?
That was back when I cared about that show. When I found Simon Cowell intriguing and interesting.
Who's your all-time favorite American Idol contestant?
Ruben Studdard. That's
oh, dude. Well,
I don't know why that came to mind.
It's funny you say that because mine's Clay Aiken, and that's who he beat. I thought Clay's version of Build Me a Buttercup was incredible.
I don't know.
Why do you build
I remember Clay Aiken. He didn't make it.
Have you ever sang Build Me a Buttercup?
Yes, I have. In many occasions. In fact, I'll do that on the break. Coming up, let's talk some.
Well, we got to talk betting. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah, we're going to talk some numbers with one of our favorites. Dave Mason, Bet Online, is coming around the bend. Don't forget, Tony Pollard will be here soon. So will Bert Kreischer, and the legend Dan Marino will be here at 8:15. You have responsibilities. Go take care of those. Be a notey. Put a thumb on it, and be right back. This is the Morning Huddle. You are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Sports Star boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Woo!
I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here. Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergenics, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I still get PMS. You know what I mean? So
Why
I
don't
don't
you get
know.
a hysterectomy? California,
Actually, I've
they
had
pay
a
for
partial
everything.
hysterectomy, smart ass.
Why didn't you get a
But
full?
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't just gut me.
When they gut you, like a fish, do you age out quicker? Does that estrogen keep you a little younger?
Do you flop around on the dock?
The John Clay Wolf Show. Every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rind Appreciation Day celebration. Enter to win $5,000 cash, tailgating prizes, plus Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds when you pass the pigskin. Enter at porkrindappreciationday.com. That's porkrindappreciationday.com. And make sure to pick up the protein-packed, bold flavors of Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds today at HEB.
Shop can't-miss deals on appliances this President's Day at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $75 on every $750 you spend on all major appliances, like LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances. Shop in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 2/28. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Show your love this Valentine's with exquisite fashion jewelry from Diamonds Direct and save an extra 20%. Now through Valentine's, all fashion favorites at Diamonds Direct are on sale. All earrings, all bracelets, all necklaces, stackable bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and more. Lots of romantic and timeless gifts for under $500. Special financing available too. Don't miss this. An extra 20% savings on all fashion jewelry favorites at Diamonds Direct. Shop in store or online at diamondsdirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
We are down to the big game in the football season, and you could still play along at Underdog Fantasy. Jason Minix here from the Blitz. I love playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy, where you pick between 2 and 5 players and select whether they will go higher or lower their predicted stats. And if your picks hit, you can win up to 100 times your money in a single night. It is a fantasy game that is legal in Texas and certainly makes watching the games a lot more fun. Get in the game now. Go to their easy-to-use mobile app or go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with my promo code STAR and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100 and you're ready for the big game. Plus, they'll give you a special pickup higher than a half total yards to use on your first pick'em entry. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code STAR. Must be over 18 and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
This is Rob Thompson. I'm here with my brother, Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com.
I'm a lawyer for you. I've helped you.
Yes, he has, and many others here in San Antonio. And that's why I'm so glad I get a chance to talk to you today about what happens when you get into an accident.
It's overwhelming for everybody involved. You have this paralysis of what to do next, who to talk to, how do you get medical care, or you're in the hospital and who's going to pay for this? It's this swirl of anxiety, and many times it's even worse than the injury itself. You have to help people through that situation. And I tell every client the same thing. Don't worry. I've got this. I will take care of this. Just worry about your family. Just worry about getting healthy. If I can do that for you and maximize your recovery, you stay in business, you keep clients. And for 30 years, I've kept every client I've ever had. I don't lose clients. I represent their family and friends because that's how seriously I take my job.
a lawyerforus.com. You can find him at 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com.
Super Bowl 58 in Vegas is set. It's the Chiefs and Niners. Hear it right here on your exclusive home for the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It's the morning huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. About to get busy. I want to remind everybody I do have tickets to give away today. Nimesh Patel is coming to our beautiful Aztec Theater in 2 nights, February the 10th. You want to go? I got a pair of tickets coming just around the corner. We're going to talk some of the lines and the props and all the fun stuff here in a second as Dave Mason of Bet Online gives us a call. We were laughing about the there's a fathead kind of a cutout of Usher over there. Any of the props? You bet the props on the silly stuff?
No, but I mean, it's fun and I enjoy it. I mean, I enjoy the Gatorade color. I enjoy national anthem stuff. I enjoy, how soon we get this commercial, or whatever the case may be. Like this kind of stuff. I'm a big fan. I love Twitter. I mean, and I love the community that Twitter offers, and I love tentpole events. Like there's nothing like communal events like this that you get to experience with all of your friends on the internet, and it adds to the experience. The example I often cite is, do you remember when La La Land improperly was given the Oscar for best film?
Yes,
and it actually went to Moonlight. That was the most incredible on fire night ever to be on Twitter. And so the Super Bowl offers that on an annual basis. And so it is cool for everyone to be like, the Gatorade was orange, you know what I mean? Like whatever, and celebrate together.
I'm looking at some of the crazier props, some of the exotics on Bet Online. Longest completion from Pat Mahomes, over under 35.5.
I take the under.
Take the under as well. Well, let's ask a true expert when it comes to such things at Bet Online. I'd like to welcome on the show Dave Mason of BetOnline.com. Welcome aboard, my friend. How are you doing during your busy time?
All good, man. Busy week, but it's a fun week, man. I love this Super Bowl stuff. So,
how much do these things fluctuate? We see the line moving down to about 2. Do you expect to see how much movement between now and Sunday? I mean, are we just about zeroed in?
I mean, we've been zeroed in for I think about 8 days now. I mean, we opened San Francisco 2.5, went down to 1. Sharps hit San Francisco -1, which kind of knocked it up to 2. Same with the total. The total really hasn't moved much in over a week either. So seems like we're zeroed in. That being said, I mean, there's still so much cash to come in, and we do have a pretty big red number on the Chiefs. I mean, we're going to be huge Niners fans, both the spread and the money line. Usually during the regular season, they really say sharps move the odds during the regular season, right? I mean, we'll gamble with the sharps. If the sharps on the side, we don't mind.
Right.
Being exposed on the public on the other side. But the Super Bowl is handled a little differently. Sure, we respect the sharp money. Like I said, it went from 1 to 2 because of the sharp stuff. But as that red number grows, if the sharps aren't, if they're not on either side, we could go back down to -1.5, maybe just to get some buyback.
When do you advise putting the money in? The moment you see something you like, or is there a time limit on things?
I'd say if you see value, bet. I mean, the one thing that kind of drives me crazy is just so many bettors just bet late. The later you bet, the more solid the number is. No one's going to beat the number long term, the closing number. Just it's you're not going to do it because by then the book has all the intel from all the sharp, all the public action. That closing number is super sharp. Doesn't mean you can't beat it short term, but long term you're not going to beat it. But the softer lines are the earlier lines. So, I mean, it drives me crazy that so many people just ignore the opening lines and they just wait until, on a Sunday, the action's just pouring in at, the 12 o'clock hour Eastern time instead of earlier in the week when those lines are just much softer. Mm-hmm. So you see something you like, bet it, if you see the odds, because it could move with either way, but if you see value, take that value. Don't miss on that value.
Dave, at this point on Thursday, and obviously practices and things like that, picking up a little bit more steam, what's the, relative to this specific Super Bowl, what could move the line the most? Well, I mean, like, it doesn't feel like there's a massive, injury update we could get, but
right.
I mean, but what is lingering out there that could push this a half point in this direction or that?
Yeah, nothing really as far as the players are concerned. I mean, they're wrapped in bubble wrap, no one, unless it's some kind of freak injury, right? Somebody getting out of the shower, or Travis Kelce tripping over the curb, running to hug Taylor Swift or something. Nothing's gonna move that number too much, but it's going to be dependent on the sharps pretty much, and to a certain extent the public more. Like I said earlier, much more common during the Super Bowl than during the regular season. So we're here waiting for that action. We're just going to try
here it comes. Here's Dave Mason of Bet Online. I can't imagine the traffic in the 11 o'clock hour or the 3 o'clock hour right before kickoff, what the servers must look like across the country, the heat being generated by the plays being made. I'm on Bet Online right now. It's easy to lay it out, easy to find everything. Where is the value in here? Where should I be looking? Is it down in the parlays? Are you seeing anything in the doubles? Where are the things that you're seeing kind of floating around that we can give our listeners a little help on their way as they head over to Bet Online?
Yeah, well, I mean, shoot, my boss would probably punch me, but the parlays really are, even though we push the parlays and all the other books push the parlays, that's probably the least amount of value, but they're fun. I mean, I play them too,
it's the parlay weekend, man.
Yeah, man, who the heck doesn't place a $5-10 parlay to win $80 or whatever, 10-game parlays and all that stuff? We have it all. But the value, I think the value, looking at the props, player props, value in the unders, player props, that these are usually juiced up. There's so much action on the over.
Right.
Usually props are kind of juiced up on the over. So, I know we all, there's a lot makes for a fun game. But look at the unders. Also, don't ignore all the exotic stuff, man. I mean, there's a lot of value there. We're not, when we're coming up with these exotic props, throwing around ideas and coming up with a number and throwing it up there without a whole heck of a lot of thought. So, look at those. You can really dig and get the value. Sure, the limits aren't as big, but the national anthem, for instance, sometime today, most likely that number is going to pop, and they're going to have a rehearsal, and we'll know what that is based on information. Those guys are out there digging for information. There's value on all of these props, not only Patrick Mahomes, but the over/under on Reba McEntire's performance. So there's value to be had. There's so many props. We have thousands of props. There's so many props. There's definitely value out there.
Dave, when you talk about that, I think during the season there's, I wouldn't say historical trends, but you can at least look, right? You can at least look at patterns and how teams have fared against one another. But with this game, as you meant, you were exotic. Like what? I mean, you obviously sharps are sharps for a reason, but what data goes into some of these? I mean, like, what research or whatever, or is it kind of, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but it sounded like you kind of were like, this just feels right. Let's just throw this out there, and this might work.
Well, yeah, it depends. I mean, let's say the most popular exotic is obviously the over/under for the national anthem. So what happens? They announced Reba McEntire is going to do the national anthem. So what do? We go straight to YouTube and see, okay, what has Reba McEntire done in the national anthem before? And hopefully there's a good sample size. With her, there was, but there's not always that case. Sometimes they've never done it, or just one or two. Then you time those, and we found out Reba McEntire usually flies through the national anthem. It's only over under 86.5 seconds, which I think the lowest in 23 years or something, one of my guys was saying. And, it's usually about a minute and 50 seconds, usually probably is the typical national anthem. And this one's, 86 seconds? That's under a minute and a half. So he flies through it. So that's what we do. We post a number, and then you take action. And especially take, look at the sharps you do. But with some of the other stuff, no, it's just, like I said earlier, it's just like four of us. Like, okay, what color? What color?
We buy orange at the store. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. What is Usher gonna wear? I don't know. Whatever. I mean, you might have to, Anybody an Usher fan? Who's an Usher fan here? What do you think? You know what I mean?
Anybody
I don't
his
know. I
closet?
don't know Usher. Yeah, I don't know Usher sitting next to me. I don't think so. I'm not gonna have any input, but my buddy's girlfriend loves Usher, and she'll, that's how it goes. That's why I'm saying there's value in these exotic props. Again, the limits aren't as high, but it's literally like 4 or 5 of us just on a chat saying, what can we think? Usher, will he show a nipple? I mean, he's showing a nipple. Will he show a nipple? Yes, no. What's the no? I think it's minus 180. Okay, and you throw it up there.
That is Dave Mason. There's the value right there. I'm speaking with him. Bet Online, if you're looking for the action, it's absolutely found. Everything you're chasing at Bet Online and everything you need for the background. And you get Dave Mason along with it, man. Enjoy your week as it's going to be a busy one as things keep going. And it's always a pleasure catching up with you, man. Have a good couple of days.
Hey, awesome. Thanks for having me, guys. Take care.
Dave Mason, Bet Online. Make sure you're heading that direction. They're waiting on you. They got every play you're looking for, live action as well. I'm looking at all the exotics as well. I'm going to just let's throw something out at you real quick.
Okay.
I'm looking at their specials.
Okay.
Longest completion by Brock Purdy, over under 37.5.
I wanted to guess. Oh, under.
Really?
That's a long.
Yeah, I like under. See, there's some value here. Longest reception, Ayuk, 25.5.
Over. We got a hedge. You know what I'm saying? So I take the over, but I wouldn't take it on any other player.
Jersey number of the last touchdown scorer.
The exact number?
I'm looking at the number. Yeah. Over under 22.5.
The last touchdown scorer.
Over.
No, because Debo's 19. McCaffrey's 22 or 23, excuse me.
22.5 is where we're sitting.
Yeah, so you'd be banking on it being Kelsey on the Chiefs side or Kittle on the Niners.
So I go under on this.
Yeah.
By the percentage. Total passing yards in the game.
I'd say the over-under is probably somewhere around.
I like this number.
589.5.
They have 515.5. I like over on this.
I take the over.
I like the over on this. That's the stuff you can find at Bet Online. Make sure you head that direction before the big game coming up on Sunday. And again, as I sit in the middle of Vegas and I see plays I like, I can't do them. I have to physically move my body and go to the book.
Explain that real quick.
We have been fenced in because we're in Texas and we're accustomed to using the DFS sites and the Bet Onlines and all that other kind of stuff. Because we're in a place where we can tangibly go lay the bets physically, we're not allowed to use these sites. I mean, I can get to them, but I can't actually place the bets. I have to go to the book, which, work. But at some point, it is nice to slide your money over and get your slip. There's something about having the tangible piece of paper and then going and sitting in the book and watching things happen as opposed to the click, 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 which is so convenient. I mean, let's not kid ourselves, but there's something great about being in a book.
You've really allowed yourself to be transported back in time. Yeah, I love the cabs.
Seriously, I've taken cabs and I'm taking betting slips and doing all the appropriate stuff. Now I need to just sit in a smoke-filled casino at the end of the strip, not the strip downtown, which we were planning on going to last night. Well, there was something strange afoot at the El Cortez, though we did not get to experience it.
Apparently, well, I don't know if they went out because I heard noise as I was falling asleep.
It's done, man. We lost our car yesterday. We lost our car.
We found it. I mean, but we lost it when we needed it, and that sucked.
RJ and I were responsible, and the ramifications, the ripple effect of this is going to go on for years. We're going to look at what we saw and did yesterday, talk about them Dallas Cowboys. The search continues. New names on the list. Rex Ryan was tickled, but there's others coming. Let's look at the candidates and look at what might possibly happen today or tomorrow. The Cowboys defensive coordinator search continues. Hey, we also got some news coming out of Austin. Steve Sarkisian speaks to his quarterback situation, and I wonder how the Mannings took it. We'll talk about all that coming up. But around the bend, Cowboy talk, because that's what we do. He's RJ. I'm Rob. We call it the Morning Huddle. You call it your San Antonio Sports Star. When you travel, some of the things you miss are your pillow. You miss your soft blanket, and you miss your Connecticut water softened shower. I'll tell you what. There is a difference, and you don't realize that difference till you leave it. I'm here in Vegas standing under, I don't know what kind of softeners they're using. It ain't what I got, I can tell you that. I don't feel nearly as clean stepping out of there. Kinetico water softeners not only take care of you, they take care of your house. That's the most important investment you will ever have, and if those pipes are clogged up, boy, oh boy. Anybody who's had to deal with a plumber with boots on, you know what I'm talking about. Get a Kinetico today. Make sure you're taking care of yourself and your family. That water that comes through the pipes goes down your mouth. I'll tell you what, it makes some good sweet tea down here. It's good beer as well. That aquifer water works, but it's got some stuff in it and it clogs your pipes up. Kinetico's got a deal for you right now. Not only will they come out and put a Kinetico softener in your home without giving you or asking you for a penny, they're going to let you have it for 90 days so you can find out what I'm talking about. Call them today at 656-PURE. They'll come out and put in the very best you can buy, a Kinetico water softener designed, manufactured in the United States, made with South Texas in mind. Call them today at 656-PURE. They'll come out and put one in your home for 90 days. You'll find out what I'm talking about. On that 91st day when you become a Kinetico water softener for life, you'll understand what I'm talking about when they tell you, I believe it, it's the last water softener you're ever going to own. Call 656-PURE today. Go to KineticoSA.com for all the details. But listen close. Get a Kinetico in your house. You'll be saving yourself some money and a lot of effort and time. And when you do, I want you to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is day 4 on Radio Row at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Another star-studded guest list highlighted by Cowboys running back Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard is going to stop by, and also guys with gold jackets like Bruce Smith. He's going to be here. We'll also visit with Jaws, Ron Jaworski, Warren Sapp, and so much more.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's BABBEL.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
All right, guys, who's ready for the biggest game of the season this Sunday? Hey, it's James Pletcher. Come pregame with me and San Antonio Sports Star and the lovely ladies at Twin Peaks out at the Twin Peaks Park North location starting at noon. Show up early. The first 100 fans get a free square, and every fan will walk away with a free fried pickles bounce back. This is going on at all 4 area Twin Peaks locations. So come join me this Sunday and register to win tickets to Machine Head while you're here. That's starting at noon at Twin Peaks Park North, 410 and Blanco Road.
Good morning, everybody. Day 4 of Radio Row at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Coming up on the Blitz, a star-studded lineup. Ron Jaworski, Tony Pollard, Bruce Smith. Just to name a few, it is going to be a fun day. Join us. We begin at 2 o'clock. Rob, are you really going to try to climb the sphere today?
I did that yesterday. Welcome back to the Morning Huddle. Yeah, yesterday afternoon, somebody tried to climb the sphere. Hey, man, more power to you. It wasn't you, RJ. You were with us. We were searching for a van.
I was here all day. You weren't.
I did disappear for a while. I was hiding our van. When last we spoke yesterday, the news broke early in the day that that was Monday. Was Rex Ryan the announcement on Monday? When did we find out that Ryan was an interview candidate for the Dallas Cowboys vacancy? We can add a couple of other names New York Jets safeties safety safeties coach Marquand Manuel is scheduled to interview today. Now, the reason why that matters is Manuel was the DC defensive coordinator for 2017 to 2018 in Atlanta, and he played for McCarthy in 2006 with the Packers. There's some lineage there, and it might be a dude that could play with the manpower that's already kind of assembled, all these kind of hybrid safety, big safety, small linebacker kind of dudes as they try to transform that defensive roster, if they are, in fact, trying to do that. Are you feeling a little bit better about the candidates, RJ?
I mean, this is the first one that wasn't, the long in the tooth,
right?
Head coach, whatever. I mean, not really. I'm, not really enjoying the process of this. It feels the Rex Ryan thing really soured me. I mean, I was really down after. No, I mean, but seriously,
Yes.
because this news came while we were sitting in Las Vegas on Radio Row in the Super Bowl. And it felt like the most desperate attempt to, when we're doing the show, we're obviously doing a lot of things and we're walking around. I've heard shows all over the country talking about this. And it felt like the most desperate plea to do that.
Just talk about me.
Yeah, just please talk about us. Like, I know that we're not in this game, but it felt so desperate in that capacity. And so I'm just kind of down on this whole process in general. I don't mean to be Eeyore about it, but it's just really hard to take them seriously.
The idea of the long in the tooth idea did seem kind of odd, but the idea of the young rising coach, is this not something the Cowboys? Well, who was the backs coach under Marinelli right before Marinelli left? Who was kind of the
Chris
odds?
Richard.
Yeah,
he was the one who wore cleats.
He was the odds-on next guy. He was practicing. He was in the hits. He was busy and active, and he had the guys doing some unique drills. And he was a fire-up kind of coach, and it just didn't never pan out.
It's funny you say that. Last week, and I don't remember who it was, and I don't mean to drag anybody, but I saw a tweet from a Cowboys fan. And it was a clip of Richard cussing out Sean Lee and Leighton Vander Esch. And the tweet said something like, whoever our next DC is, I hope he's someone like this. I miss Chris Richard. It's like, you don't miss Chris Richard at all, man.
No.
Like, the secondary sucked when he was in charge. They didn't get any turnovers. They didn't generate any interceptions. And, like, literally as soon as he left, everything got better. I mean, and so people see people yelling and they think, like, that's coaching. You know what I mean? They're like, oh, I like the rah-rah guy. And it's like, dude, just don't be that ridiculous. Don't be that pedantic. I mean, but and that's what's so frustrating about this. People look at Rex Ryan now and they want to believe so bad. They want to hope. They're trying so badly to find something to sink their teeth into that they're like, I don't know, man. All of his defenses have been good. Dude, he hasn't coached since 20. The last time he coached, Rob, how many Super Bowls is this for Patrick Mahomes?
This 4.
This is his 4th. The last time Rex Ryan was in the NFL, Patrick Mahomes was not. Like, think about that. Like, it's ridiculous. This is an objectively ridiculous idea.
Now, as the new candidate was mentioned, the in-house candidate that had the opportunity to rise, Aiden Dirty, interviewed with Seattle as their defensive coordinator. Vacancy is out there, and to go to work with Mike McDonald up there. Is he hamstrung just because he's already in the building, or is that a benefit, you think?
I mean, I think it's a benefit, but I don't think they want that. I don't think they want somebody in the building. I mean, I do think that they had interest in Joe Witt Jr., but I don't blame Joe Witt for leaving because it's job security. I mean, I don't know that I believe in Dan Quinn as a long-time option for the Commanders, but when you get a new head coaching job, you're guaranteed, 2-3 years. You know what I mean? Before
you better be anyway. Yeah.
Well, I mean, generally, most, there are obviously exceptions, to the rule, but if you're Joe Witt Jr., you totally take that. You take a brand new contract instead of one that, could be torn up a year from now.
Is it possible that there's a candidate out there that we haven't heard about? Is that typical Cowboys fashion to do something, we float these names and go completely a different direction? I don't feel that way. I always feel like the guys that the Cowboys have hired, we knew. They floated them. They leaked them to their particular sources. And by the time it was announced, we all had kind of come to a consensus, whether we liked it or not, but that was going to be the fact. And for the most part, I think we've been right. With the McCarthy thing, we had an idea. Garrett, we had an idea. Marinelli, we knew.
It's just, I mean, that's been their thing.
But the reason I bring this up is you brought up a guy who should be a candidate, Staley. But what I'm saying is, do they float these names and very quietly interview with somebody else and then name somebody? But that doesn't seem to be the Cowboys' method of operation.
I just don't know why you wouldn't even interview Brandon Staley at this point in time. I mean, the Packers did. I don't know. I mean, and I'm not saying you have to hire him, but again, my beef, and I've been saying this all along, isn't so much with the ultimate, inevitable, potentially idea of Mike Zimmer. My beef is with the process. My beef is with like, oh, you needed somebody to do this job, so you just, you went down your text message list, you know what I mean, and found, the dude,
Right.
who or whatever, like, somebody who you had as like one of your favorites in your contacts. I mean, and somebody who comes to your golf tournaments every year, stuff like that. Like, it's just, that's a flawed way to do this. If you're just hiring your friends, you're not doing your job.
Hey, coming up, we've got a whole bunch for you. Just after the top of the hour, Tony Pollard. Immediately thereafter, Dan Marino, followed by Bert Kreischer. In between, we'll have Andrew Zimmern and Jordan Addison.
Buckle up. Like, the next 2 hours are going to be intense.
So RJ and I are going to go carbo load. And I mean that in the truest possible sense. The Danishes and breakfast items are here. We are live on Media Row for a day that is going to be spectacular. And I know there's no way to consume this all at once. So this is what you need to do right now. Make sure you've gone to our YouTube channel and subscribed. Make sure you are continuing to like and to share with all of your friends. And as all of these interviews come your way, when you want to see Dan Marino, when you want to see Andrew Zimmern, when you want to see Jordan Addison, when you want to see Tony Pollard, when you want to see Carrot Top, when you want to see Mr. Wayne Newton, you will have avenues there. That's our YouTube channel. So if you're not seeing us, but you're hearing it, that interview is probably pre-recorded. You can go watch it at that moment too.
And that's just the way this works.
This is how it works. We don't have the capability to do some other stuff.
Rob and I are live from 4 to 8 here. And some, I know this is going to shock somebody,
but they don't get up.
Dan Marino's not walking around at 4:30 in the morning.
You'd think he would, quite frankly, for us.
So that's what's going on, and we're doing everything to make sure that you have what you need.
It's kind of like new to you. So if you're not seeing it, you can still see it. Just go to our YouTube feed. So coming up, this is the 8 o'clock hour, chock full of wonderful goodness as we round our way toward the big game. Tony Pollard's just around the bend. What's it?
I know we had some audio issues. It seems that everything may have stabilized. So
there we are. See, that's what happens when you bide your time. This is the Morning Huddle. He is RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I am Rob Thompson, the bespectacled car loser. Coming back, Tony Pollard. This is going to be good. This is the Morning Huddle. You're on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
.94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is set. Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas. With plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
In the Bible's creation account, I'm struck by the fact that the humans God put in the garden didn't have any anxiety. One writer defines anxiety as an automatic reaction to a threat, real or imagined. The root meaning of the word anxiety means to choke or to take by the throat. One of the ways we know we are anxious is a tightening feeling in our chest. In that original garden, there was no such thing as death nor any of the lesser evils humans have encountered since that produce anxiety. So one of the essential skills humans must develop in this life is how to deal with anxiety that comes from relationships, families, marriages, health, vocation, and the unexpected, to name a few. One suggestion is to develop the ability to respond rather than react. This calls for reflection that leads to responsible action rather than reactive impulses. So take some time today to reflect on what you've learned from anxious times in the past. This is Mark Absher, the MacArthur Park Church of Christ, with a thought about anxiety. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
When your business needs an electrician, for over 35 years, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio. Powered by relationships with dedicated estimators who analyze the issue, research cost-effective solutions, and clearly communicate the options, without charging you a dime. A proven process that allows you to continue focusing on your unique purpose. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074 or hill-electric.com.
This is Rob Thompson. I'm here with my brother, Jason, a practicing attorney in San Antonio for 30 years. Jason, what does that mean?
What it means is I've been representing people and families here in San Antonio injured in auto, truck, motorcycle collisions, serious injury, death accidents, taking those families and helping them through some of the worst times of their life. I've been practicing law in San Antonio for so long. I remember when the Cowboys were champions.
Seriously.
And a great staff that handles kind of the blocking and tackling of what it takes to represent clients. There are so many phone calls that need to be made, so many connections you have to have between insurance companies, physicians, opposing lawyers, relationships that you build over 30 years with adjusters, with insurance companies, with defense attorneys, with local judges. When I represent a client, they know that I'm lending my name, my reputation built on 30 years of experience to that client to get them justice.
It's Jason Thompson, alawyerforus.com. Call him at 210-900-0400, alawyerforus.com.
QC Kinetics patient Robert Patterson, a veteran and business owner, struggled at work and in the gym with chronic agonizing shoulder pain.
Those injuries just continue to nag, and if you don't treat them, they just get worse. And I just kind of abused my body for a long time, and it finally had said enough is enough.
That's okay, because QC Kinetics tells your pain, hey, enough is enough. Their regenerative treatments bring you relief by helping restore and repair damaged tissue with no drugs, no downtime, and best of all, no surgery.
I was able to exceed the goals that I had previously attained in the gym. It was absolutely worth its weight in gold, so I could continue to live life without limitation.
Ready to get lasting relief from your joint pain? Call QC Kinetics to learn more about how natural biologic treatments can get you lasting results. Call now. It's a free consultation.
210-571-0318. That's 210-571-0318. QC Kinetics, 210-571-0318.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
KTFM Floresville. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, your home for the Aggies. San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys continue their defensive coordinator search, along with Rhett Ryan, Mike Zimmer, and Ron Rivera. They're including the next candidate, his Marquand Manuel. He used to play for DQ back in the day. The Spurs lose to Miami at the beginning of the Rodeo Road Trip, and Sarge says Manning might be sitting and watching another year. This is San Antonio's Sports Star.
How good do you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, huddle up, everybody. We got something to talk about. It is the Morning Huddle. I am Rob Thompson with the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. We promised him all day long. Our Dallas Cowboy running back, Tony Pollard, sitting in with us. Good afternoon to you, Tony.
How you doing?
I'm really good, man.
I'm doing good myself.
I know we've asked you like a million times, but barbecue thoughts? Any new thoughts on barbecue? You know, because your parents, we've all heard the story a million times. So you have any new thoughts on barbecue while we're at it?
When you say any new thoughts, do you mean, do I have a new favorite?
Yeah, like whatever. I mean, because everyone has asked you over the last 5 years about barbecue and what you like and what's the best, whatever. So has your opinion on barbecue changed so we can kind of put it to bed forever?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah, it hasn't.
Okay.
Any family recipes you want to give us?
I had to kill you.
Well, you know, I wouldn't tell anybody where I got it. They would just know the quality of my rib improved.
We were talking right when you sat down that you were on the Pat McAfee show on Wednesday. You said it was an interesting experience, and something you mentioned there was that you had gotten rid of social media. I don't want to say got rid of. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you had taken a break from it, whatever. And you talked about when you're a Cowboy, you know, you kind of got to whatever. You are well accustomed with that life now. It's a little bit different, obviously, than when you first started. You've seen different coaches, things like that. What has kind of been your thoughts on the way the season ended and the way fans have acted, et cetera, in the last few weeks?
I mean, it was a tough loss. It was a tough way to go out for us to end our season, especially with us playing as good as we were throughout the course of the season. So it definitely was a disappointing loss for us. Yeah, that's pretty much.
You know, it's hard to process how it ended so quickly. I mean, how do you react for that first couple of days? We heard Micah say, man, I went home. I was almost ashamed to show my face. How long was it before you felt like, man, you know, season's done, time to look forward?
I mean, I knew the season was done after the game, but for me, I hadn't watched football since that game. Like, because I just felt like the way that we went out, you know, we're a much better team than that. So that was tough for us to go out that way. So, yeah, it's just been tough for me to watch. I hadn't even watched it. I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, though. But.
Well, that makes sense. And I think that's kind of how a lot of fans deal with it, right? They're like, I don't want to listen to these shows, except for this one, obviously. You know, I don't want to watch any stuff. I don't even want to play Madden because I just don't want to think about it. And I've been a Dallas Cowboys fan my whole life and obviously covered the team a long time. This one did feel different. And some of it was you guys were so good at home. You were the 2 seed and you needed some luck to go your way, and all that happened. And so was it different that you've experienced in your time now, 3 playoff losing seasons? Was it different than either loss to San Francisco?
Just a little bit. I would say this one was probably a little bit tougher. Just I feel like any playoff loss, like whichever playoff loss it is, the next one is going to be tougher than the last one. So, yeah.
The next one's going to be tougher than the last one. It's so hard to get over these kind of things. So what's next for Tony Pollard, man? What's the next couple of weeks look like? The off season, where you headed? What are you doing?
I mean, I'm training. After the Super Bowl, I'm getting back locked in, training, working out, get my body back right. And then after that, we'll see where everything goes, see how it plays out.
So this is your second time on the precipice of free agency. Obviously, you got the franchise tag last year, but you were coming off the injury. First thing, and I'm sure you've been asked this, but did you ever feel 100%? Now that the season's over and you look back on it, did you ever feel like you fully got back to who Tony Pollard is?
Yeah, I would say probably the Carolina game against the Panthers. That was when I felt like I was back to myself after that.
So then along those lines, you obviously are feeling great now. You look great, and you're getting some sleep. We'll talk about that in a moment. But you're entering free agency, and it's unknown about the tag stuff. I know you've dealt with that. You got people who deal with it, but it seems like you might actually test free agency. That's a really powerful thing in life, to be able to dictate things and control the market, whatever. Have you allowed yourself to think about it? Do you just let your people handle that? Do you do a little bit of both? I mean, is it too soon? Where's your head at?
I mean, it's a bit soon right now, especially with the current season still going on. But after the Super Bowl, then when the free agency market gets going, I feel like it'll be a little bit more clear picture for me to see how things are going.
It'll clear up for sure. Mm-hmm. Where's your head at? I mean, if all things were equal, is Dallas the place you want to be?
Yeah, if I could choose, I would love to be in Dallas. But at the end of the day, you know it's a business, so it is what it is. And you have to be ready for what that comes with.
He is Tony Pollard, the current running back with the Dallas Cowboys. The future holds a lot of questions. I found it interesting. Dude, you haven't watched a game since then? You couldn't, not a playoff game, not even a peek, man.
Nope.
Didn't miss it at all.
No.
Yeah.
Do you normally watch, though? Like, you guys are – so, like, you normally watch, like, Sunday Night Football, Monday Night Football when y'all aren't in those slots?
I normally do, but, like, that loss was so tough, and I feel like it was so disappointing on our part. But it's like I know we had the potential, we had the team, we had it all to be playing this weekend. So
if you had to isolate the why, because that's, I mean, everyone keeps coming back. Why? They were so talented. They had all this stuff. If you had to put a why on it, what do you think went wrong?
That's a tough question. I'm not sure.
I get it. I mean, that's sports. Sometimes the better team loses. Sometimes the coin lands on heads 100 times in a row. That's just life. That's just fate, et cetera, et cetera. But you have to move on. You have to kind of process, and sometimes things have to change. Like in free agency, everybody graduates high school, right? You got to say goodbye to friends and go on to college or get drafted in the NFL. and achieve adulthood. And when you achieve adulthood, you have partnerships. You are here with a great partner. I know Dak is a Sleep Number person. Sleep Number is like the whole Cowboys at this point in time.
I too am a Sleep Number aficionado.
So what's your Sleep Number?
Yes,
and
sir.
what do you have going on with them?
Yeah, I've been partnered with Sleep Number for a while now. It was a no-brainer for me once you just think about the direct effect that getting a good night's sleep has on your performance the next day. And me coming off of the injury that I had, practicing, being up on my feet all day, going to meetings. So when I get home, my ankle's probably swollen, my foot swollen, but having a bed where I can elevate my feet or elevate my head or whatever I need to do to get better, and then wake up and I'm feeling better. Ankle's not swollen anymore. So just all the pros that come with it, it was a no-brainer.
For the video audience, you have a pillow.
Yes, we were hoping that.
Is this? Can you explain what's going on here?
Yeah, I got a Sleep Number pillow for, I guess.
Well,
I'll let y'all rock, paper, scissors for it.
We don't want to.
We get to keep this? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, indeed.
Oh my gosh! I don't think we're rock paper scissoring. Tony, we've spoken before. You and I go way back. So,
Sleep Number guy already,
I'm a current and
so I need to get in on the action. That's what I'm saying. You get to pick, Tony, right now. We can't decide.
We'll give it to the young man.
Hey,
one quick question. I'm going to Memphis. I say I got to find either hot chicken or ribs. Where do you send me? Where do I eat? Other than the family business.
Okay. I would definitely say Pollard. But if you're not gonna go to Pollard, you got to go to A&R.
A&R?
Yep.
And what do I get?
Ribs.
Get the ribs? Are they dry or are they wet?
It's however you like them. I prefer mine dry.
Me too.
I like the dry
Doesn't
ribs.
hide the meat.
If you do move on from Dallas this year, who are some of the young players that you've gotten to see? It doesn't have to be rookies necessarily. Doesn't have to be Deuce Vaughn. Man, I know those guys. I'm going to see them. They're going to keep dominating around the NFL. They're starting something special, and we're just going our separate ways right now.
If that was the case, I would say Malik Davis, Hunter Lupke, and Rico Dowdle.
All
Great
backfield
list.
dudes. Look at you, company man. I remember in a similar way talking to Jordan Lewis and Chidobe Awuzie, because they came. I know they came in together, and they both had the highest level of belief in each other, and they were both right. Like, they're both awesome. And I saw you were asked about Jordan's comment about Isaiah Pacheco, about how he runs like he bites people. What do you run like?
I've been told that I run like a toddler running away from somebody. I've been told that I run like I'm on my tippy toes. I've been told a lot of different things.
Runs like a toddler.
You can say I've been told I run like I stole something.
That's how you get paid right there. You run like you stole something. That's where you get it.
Yeah.
Tony Pollard, Dallas Cowboys, stopping by on Radio Road. Thanks for the pillow. Thanks for the thoughts, man. We appreciate it.
Tony, last thing, I've told you this before. Thank God you didn't wear number 36. You're too cool, dude. That would have been ugly.
Yeah, that was too big of a number on me. It was weighing me down.
If whatever circumstances happen and you were in a different number next year, and would it be 20 or would you want something else?
Either I would go with 20 or my old college number if it was open.
What's your sleep number? The actual number while we're here.
My sleep number is 75.
Don't wear 75, please. That would be
Nah, no deal.
Tony, thanks so much for joining us. Health, wealth, and happiness to you, man. Whatever happens in free agency, we'll be rooting for you always.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
Huddle here on San Antonio Sports Star. He's RJ Ochoa. I'm Rob Thompson. Are we got that air, Edwin?
I was playing some music.
Are we live now? People hear us? Are we listening over the air?
Are we on the radio?
Are we speaking to our listeners? You can tell you we're live. What's going on? We'll be honest with folks. I don't know what's happening right now as we sit at Media Row live. We got a lot of people coming our direction. RJ, how you feeling?
I could be worse.
I just we went down the buffet is significantly smaller today. There were only 3 options. Little tiny
Wow.
1-bite croissants. I don't know what the other things are, and a chocolate biscuit. That's it. There's not even any coffee down there. They started strong this week, and they've kind of slowed down a little bit.
Wait, you went downstairs?
I went downstairs, and there is 1 small table left. They said that at some point in the next couple of hours they expect to restock. So we've been left high and dry here on Media Row. We've got Tony Pollard around the bend. Jordan Addison.
That's right. Your boy Bert
Kreischer.
That's right.
So let's stack these things appropriately.
Yeah, I mean, who's arguing against that?
None of us at all. So with that in mind, let's take a break. Let's reorganize, get ourselves in the position we need. Edwin, are we in a good situation to take a break? Let's take a break. We'll be right back. This is the Morning Huddle. You are on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. You know, as you head toward the big game, you need the big meal to support all those that are coming over to the Casa. And when it comes to the best meat possible, I can only recommend one place. It's my meat market. It should be yours. Tri-County Meat Market. They got everything you need to up your grilling game, and you're going to up it. This is one of the 4 majors. You know it's coming, so let's take advantage of what's available to you at Tri-County Meat Market. Specials are always available to you, and when you're looking at specials from Tri-County, they're the ones that you actually want to eat. The steaks, the deals are always there. If you're a first responder, walking in the door is the best thing to do because you're going to get 10% just for being there. And the specials, oh my goodness, the specials. Right now for the big game, you can get all the steaks that you're chasing at the poundage that you are certainly chasing. You're looking for the porterhouse, they got it. You're looking for the prepared foods. For your hors d'oeuvres, you want the stuffed peppers, they've got them. And oh my goodness, if you have not had one of their avocado bombs, you're just not doing it right. It is big game fare for all the fans. Put a steak on, put a brisket on overnight, maybe do a little bit of the pulled pork sandwiches, one of their beautiful pork butts. You're looking for a brand new rub. You're looking for something to go along with all those meats. They've got that too. 5 for $25 is in play, not just for the big game. It's there. Tri-County Meat Market. Head there today, man. You got people coming over. It's a big game weekend, and treat it appropriately. Put some good meat on the grill, and I know you're going to be thanking me later.
The Sports Star Boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Road trip! Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Yeah!
Woo!
I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here!
Not up in here!
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Synergenics, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you can't sleep because of annoying knee pain, that's a problem. You stopped running because your feet always hurt. That's a problem. If your elbow, shoulder, and neck pain make it impossible for you to do your job, that is a problem. And it's time to finally do something about it. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. No medications, no injections. Arasti treatment is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, we accept most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Drowning in IRS debt? If you can't afford to pay your IRS debt due to economic hardship, you can now be free of IRS collection efforts by taking advantage of a special IRS tax hardship program. This program allows Americans who owe the IRS to resolve their delinquent tax debt once and for all. In some cases, maybe even reducing what you owe significantly. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Simply dial 800-7. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back or have years of unfiled tax returns, help is standing by. Just call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-785-9545 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-785-9545 to see if you qualify. That's 800-785-9545.
Denise has been playing jazz for 40 years. Last concert, one of the musicians fell sick with RSV. Respiratory syncytial virus, or RSV, is a highly contagious virus that can lead to breathing problems. This time, she's choosing to help protect herself with Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo. Abrysvo is a vaccine for the prevention of lower respiratory tract disease caused by respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, in adults 60 years of age and older. Abrysvo is not for everyone and may not protect all who receive the vaccine. Don't get Abrysvo if you've had a severe allergic reaction to its ingredients. People with a weakened immune system may have a decreased response to Abrysvo. The most common side effects are tiredness, headache, pain at the injection site, and muscle pain. Ask your pharmacist or doctor about Pfizer's RSV vaccine, Abrysvo, respiratory syncytial virus vaccine. For full prescribing information, please call 1-844-989-7284 or visit abrysvo.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Tax Talk with Straight Talk.
You give and you give. This tax season, you get with Straight Talk Wireless. You get a reliable 5G network and unlimited data and a new Samsung Galaxy A15 for just $99. So you can give your janky phone to your kid. Yeah! Good talk.
Switch to Straight Talk for plans starting as low as $25 a line per month for 4 lines. Find us at Walmart and straighttalk.com. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com. Device offer ends 4/14/24. In-store activation on single Silver Unlimited plan or higher required. Family plan discount with 4 lines all on the Silver Unlimited plan. Taxes and fees apply.
Hey, Joe Montana here. Back in my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia, a bacterial lung disease that can be life-threatening. If you're 65 or older or 19 or older with certain chronic conditions like diabetes or asthma, you're at increased risk. Talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccination and learn more at knowpneumonia.com. That's KNOW pneumonia.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, everybody. It's Joe Reinagel. You know, now is a great time of year to get your roof inspected and ready for our crazy spring weather, be it hot, cold, rain, or hail. Who knows what Mother Nature has in store for us this year? Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994. You know, your roof protects your home and your family. A quality roof overhead means comfort, confidence, and certainly peace of mind. Now is the time to get your roof ready for spring. Call Stevens Roofing at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
This is Tony Pollard, and you're listening to The Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey, everybody, huddle up. We got something to talk about. This is The Morning Huddle. He is RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I am Rob Thompson, the bespectacled professor, and we promised him to you. Let's dive right in. He is Dan Marino. You know all of who he is and what will be, and he's sitting with us right now. I'm kind of aghast. Okay. Mr. Marino, Dan, it's a pleasure. Thanks for stopping by, man.
No, glad to be here. You guys, this is a hectic time for the radio stuff here on Radio Row, but it's kind of fun.
Dan, I got to get out right away. Obviously, all the football accomplishments are priority. Bad Boys 2, though, super underrated. That's my all-time favorite movie. So to meet the star of it is really
no, we can't go too far.
Yeah, I mean,
better role.
Will Smith, yeah.
Bad Boys 2, Ace Ventura.
Ace Ventura's got it.
Yeah, see?
Oh, yeah.
He had meat on that role.
Yeah, exactly. That was my best work ever. I feel like I made Jim Carrey a star, which I did.
Think about what you did. You managed to catapult that guy into the stratosphere. It's those little things that matter.
It was great, man. It was great. That's good stuff.
So, Dan, what's the week been like? Obviously, everybody's here. There's a lot of energy. They're hopped up on various things, different things, whatever. But
I just got here last night, and I'm going to do some corporate stuff here, and obviously doing the work with Eminem. Almost Champions ring that I'm doing a commercial for, and Bruce Smith's in it. He was in 4 and didn't win, and T.O. was in a couple, and then Also, our special guest in the commercial was Scarlett Johansson, which I thought was pretty
Now
cool.
she's in because she was nominated twice for the same year and didn't get it. Is that why?
Yeah, yep. That's pretty much what it is.
Well, that's the worst thing to ever happen to y'all. You're it's working out pretty well for all four of you guys.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, but then anyway, so yeah, here promoting that and that they did the ring and
no, you say the ring.
They did.
Talk about this
you
ring.
are really underselling. I saw an Instagram ad for this ring, and we knew that you were coming on for it. And I was like, "Is he going to be wearing the ring?" Like I was all.
Oh, they got the ring. The ring's at the M&M store in Las Vegas.
It's a solid gold ring
with diamonds in it.
But the diamonds are made out of peanut butter. Like it's manufactured diamonds that have been made out of peanut butter that you would get out of an M&M's.
Yes, peanut butter M&M's. So, and I guess you could eat the ring if you wanted to. But I wouldn't do that.
I wouldn't do that at all.
I value my teeth too much, but I would eat and will eat these M&Ms.
It's on display here in Vegas at the M&M's store here in town.
And also, like for more information, I know you got to do this, but if you go to M&M's, MMS.com and / Super Bowl,
of course,
then you can get into all the other stuff they have, and they have like these sweatsuits that you could buy and be a part of it. And, yeah, so it's
Can I win the ring?
Can you win the ring?
Can I win the ring,
or is it there?
Can I meet Scarlett Johansson if she has the ring?
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, that's like one.
We could definitely do that.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
And we have to ask you, quarterbacks?
Sure. Yeah.
Compare and contrast are the two quarterbacks that we get to see this weekend.
Say it again.
Compare and contrast. What do you see in Brock Purdy? What do you see in Mahomes? Likes things that you see?
Well, I mean, Mahomes is as good as it gets, and he is a special player. Has been a special player since he came in the league, and the things he can do throwing the football, it's just incredible. And he's a winner. He's going to be tough to beat in this game because he knows how to win Super Bowls. He's done it before. And Brock Purdy's kind of it's a neat story because I just love the fact that he's an underdog guy. I'd love to see him win, actually. He's an underdog guy coming in last pick in the draft. And the little cool thing with me is I guess I got a note that said that Brock Purdy's dad was a Dan Marino fan,
right?
When he was growing up, and they watched tape and stuff like that. So and he was wearing 13,
of course.
So now, besides my M&M's ring in the Super Bowl, Purdy's my favorite guy now.
That's interesting. But I think the story of Purdy has been so lost in people trying to figure out how good he is and how good Kyle Shanahan is and whatever. It's his second season in the NFL. I mean, you know what it's like to have high levels of success so early, and obviously Mahomes is the kind of modern-day king of that. When you're that young and you are experiencing those things, I feel like it would just wash over you. You're almost too naive to understand what's at stake. Is that a fair way to look at it?
That is definitely fair. I mean, because I played in the Super Bowl my second year. We broke all those records. We did no one else was doing all those kind of things. And then we didn't beat the 49ers, who had an incredible team. And Montana, obviously, and a lot of other guys, Ronnie Lott, those guys. But I thought I would be back and playing that game again a number of times, and I was 20. I still may be the youngest quarterback to start in the Super Bowl. I don't know for a fact, but I'm pretty darn close. And you just think you're going to be there, you'll be there. I thought we'd be going to next year, and it doesn't happen. So I think that's the lesson that a lot of these guys have learned over the years is, you got to take advantage of the shot when you got it because you don't know what's going to come down the road in the future.
On the subject of that, we cover the Dallas Cowboys, and Dak Prescott is the longest tenured starting quarterback in the NFL relative to his specific team because of Aaron Rodgers changing teams, things like that. And he's entering now year 9. And I have to imagine at that point you start to wonder, like, if it can't happen, it didn't happen when we were the 1 seed. It didn't happen when we had the bye. You're kind of evaluating what has to happen. What are your thoughts on Dak given his exposure, as a Dallas Cowboys quarterback?
Well, I like Dak as far as his ability and everything he's been able to accomplish in his career, and it's just that they just haven't been able to get over that hump, and it just takes that extra effort, being in the right situation as far as what the schedule is and how many. What's the injuries? I mean, like for the Dolphins, for example, we got hurt at the end of the year. I mean, it's just a fact. There was a lot of injuries, and it was hard to overcome that. So, I mean, that's just part of it. And I think he'll be fine. I mean, they'll continue to compete. We'll see where it goes as far as him getting into a championship game.
in knowing the variables that get into winning a title. At what point do you, as a pro, do you start accepting the fact that I'm going to do everything I can, but it just might not work out?
You know, I don't think you ever try to think that because you think that you can do it, and especially if you always played at a high level, that it could happen. I think after when I retired, I did feel like I could play a couple more years. It just didn't feel right to where I could have went to Minnesota, could have went to Pittsburgh, like places. Yeah, you do. You always think if you're putting the work in and you're doing the work, you think like you got a shot, you know, no matter what the circumstances are. So that's always there with play. If you got a player that's worth you know, what he is as far as if he's a good one or not, then he's thinking about that all the time.
He is Dan Marino, if you don't recognize the voice here with M&M's. I'm offering a ring that we all have access to see at some point.
You touched on the Dolphins, and it's interesting when teams are successful in the same sort of way, right? Like when anybody thinks Dolphins success, they think of you. They think of offensive success. It'd be weird if the Dolphins were like a heavy all-defense team. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And so you look at Tua and you look at what Mike McDaniel has done, and you mentioned it. They just kind of fizzled out and caught some bad luck near the end. Do you think that next season they can finally break over the Buffalo Bills? And if the Jets obviously come back with Aaron Rodgers, I mean, they're on the cusp, and they just need those things to kind of line up right for them too.
Well, you said it. I mean, you said it right there. They need things to line up, and at the end of the year there, we had opportunities, and I think you just got to grow from them. I mean, I would say every Dolphin fan, Dolphin player, anybody that's involved that would say you got to grow from that and understand that you got to be healthy. You got to have your right players playing at the end of the year when the games are very meaningful. They count so much. You got to have everybody ready.
When you look at the style of Miami and McDaniel and all the offenses that we see around, and it's obviously, man, in my day it was this, and this day it's so much easier. But when you look at the systems that are popular now, do you feel like that would be something that you would enjoy, the RPO movement and that kind of game as it's changed?
I could do it for sure.
But would you enjoy it? Do you think the success would come?
I don't know about throwing all the little throwing it sideways all the time. Like that wasn't my game. As far as all these bubble screens and RPOs like you're talking about. So could I do it? Yeah, I definitely could do it. But it was not one of the things that was even around that much, right? You know, and you know, our throws were more down. I mean, we had always had chances no matter what the play was going down the field. So that's a whole different offense. And now they run more motion and more adjustment with players and same personnel in the game, and they're all in different spots, and it's all. But it makes it more challenging for defenses.
Do you feel like you would have approved of how protective the league is of quarterbacks now? I mean, you fall down the wrong way and there's 15 yards. You know what I'm saying? Like that had to have been something that you look and you're like, man, life would have been a lot easier.
It would have been easier. Yeah, I kind of like it because I think you want your star players to be in there and playing the game. And guys still, even though they have changed the rules, guys are still getting hurt. You know, I mean, it's just part of the game and how physical it is. So, but I mean, it did change. It changed, you know, how people played the game and how you were able to put up some of the yards and completion percentages and all that they have now that probably wasn't there, you know, years ago. They were good, but not as good as you get now. The stats are better now.
Right. Dan, MMS.com/Super Bowl, not M&M's, MMS. You know, just throw the and sign away. Is peanut butter your favorite flavor?
If you were driving.
Yeah, it's definitely peanut butter.
Okay, I'm a peanut guy myself, but this is just, you know, this does have to work. You know what I mean? They just dilute it down.
Thing, if you're out in town here in Vegas to come to the Super Bowl, you want to go see the ring at the M&M's store in Vegas, you can go check that out too.
The process behind turning peanut butter into, you know, wearable jewelry is one I'm interested in.
Yes, it was, yeah. Yeah, well, you're going to see it.
It's a brave and bold new world. He is Dan Marino. You recognize him from everything else, and now with M&M's. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. It is a genuine pleasure to meet a genuine legend in the
Bad Boys 2 forever.
Bad Boys Ventura was the platform. Dan Marino right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star Spring Golf Classic is set Monday, March 25th at Golf Club of Texas with plenty of prizes, including a shot at $50,000 in a trip to the big game. Go to sasportstar.com and get signed up. A 4-person scramble, $120 per player to join, or a group of 4 can sign up together for $400. It's the San Antonio Spring Golf Classic, benefiting the Will Smith Foundation. Monday, March 25th, presented by Flight by Yingling and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
What's he talking about here? He's talking about Asian. It wasn't me that started that old crazy Asian war. I mean, isn't that racist?
No, I think it was a crazy Asian war, was it not?
It was indeed.
It wasn't Oriental. What would make it Oriental?
If they fried it with bell pepper and pineapple and added sweet and sour sauce, that would make it Oriental.
The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Jason Minix here. Guys, your testosterone levels start to decline in your 30s. If you're feeling a lack of energy and drive, it could be caused by low T. Get your levels tested at Synergenics. They make it quick and easy, and with the convenience of their on-site lab, you'll get your results back at your first visit. At Synergenics, you will get customized care from testosterone specialists. Conquer your New Year's resolutions. Go to fixmylowt.com to book online. That's fixmylowt.com.
Okay, if you love playing fantasy sports like I do, take it to the next level with Prize Picks. It's the #1 daily fantasy sports app. This is Rob Thompson, and right now, with the big game around the corner, NBA in full swing, there's no better way to get into the action than with Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections on a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that in 2 taps. I love the easy gameplay, the quick withdrawals, and huge selection of players, the stat options, and more. And check this out. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy platform with injury protection insurance. It'll keep you in the game even if one of your players isn't. It's great. Over 7 million sports fans have already signed up, and I'm one of them. So join me and watch your favorite players and get paid doing it right now. Just download the Prize Pick app and use the code ALAMO. That's ALAMO on Prize Picks for your first deposit. They'll match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
At Charmin, we heard you shouldn't talk about going to the bathroom in public, so we decided to sing about it.
When you're rolling Charmin Ultra Soft on the party, this is more, so roll it back, everybody. Charmin's irresistibly soft and hella nice. The cream is always soft. It's our party vibe. It's cushion so a chick's feel fly. So what? Everybody wanna touch the sky.
Charmin Ultra Soft is irresistibly soft and more absorbent, so you can use less. Enjoy the go with Charmin.
This year, Dell Technologies wants to help you do amazing things with their best tech. For a limited time only, save on select next-gen PCs like the XPS 13 Plus, powered by Intel Core processors, and more. Plus, curate your dream setup with great deals on select monitors, mice, and more must-have electronics and accessories. When you shop online at Dell.com/deals, you'll have access to leading-edge technology to match your forward-thinking spirit and free shipping on everything. Again, that's Dell.com/deals.
Hey, poker players, the Big Blind is open. With a true Vegas feel, the Big Blind is the premier poker room in San Antonio, featuring an upscale environment catering to players from all abilities. Whether you are seeking high-octane tournaments or lively cash games, the Big Blind has a game for everyone. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road, just down from the Roo Pub, offers daily cash games to daily, weekly, and monthly tournaments. Learn more online at thebigblindsa.com. The Big Blind at 281 in Redland Road.
Hey, huddle up, everybody. We got something to talk about. This is the Morning Huddle. He's RJ Ochoa. I am the bespectacled lost professor, Rob Thompson. RJ is the managing editor of Blogging the Boys.
What a great last name, Ochoa.
I've literally never been told that in my life.
You being serious? I guess you haven't seen the Griselda show on Netflix.
But no, like I've never like.
I'm sorry, the Ochoa name's got a legendary following.
It's usually such an inconvenience. So like Rob's last name is Thompson. That's like you can call him that. You'd be like, hey Thompson. You try to call me, hey Och. It like stops you. It's like, you know what I mean? Like you're walking in sand.
It sounds good if you're scoring a goal.
Well, I mean, you know, Ochoa,
go.
Well, yeah, me and Memo, you know, we're cousins, so we're good to go.
That could be. You might recognize the voice. You might see him on our streamer. That's Bert Kreischer. He is the machine. He is here at Radio Row. First of all, why are you here other than you're a stud?
Well, we got it. Me and Tom Segura have a show at the MGM Grand Garden Arena Saturday night. We're launching a vodka poro. So we just as our soft launch comes out in March in Texas, Florida, and California, all the places I like to drink. And so we're flaunting our vodka. We're having a blast, man. We've got a blackjack tournament tonight. I'm going to Gronk's pool party on Saturday. We got a show Saturday night, and then a big game.
Are you staying for the game? You gonna be at the game?
No, I'm bailing.
Us too.
It's a waste.
A little bit.
Well, don't let that secret out.
I paid $120,000 for 6 tickets last year. Don't remember it. Got way too high, ate an edible, and was literally holding onto my seat thinking gravity had taken over. It's chaos. Yeah. The Super Bowl is absolute chaos. But this week is just a blast.
Have you done the week prior before?
I have. And this is the fun part, is you get to run into all the legends, and they're all so approachable and cool. And this is why I come, is for the week leading up. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, you get to dance and then like back off when, you know, and then life's call hits.
My tour bus is going to leave at like 4 a.m. out of Vegas, take me into LA. I'll watch a game at home with my kids. It'll be a blast.
You ever done the Masters?
No.
So similar thing. It's kind of a drag on Sunday.
Really?
Well, because they take away your phone. You know, so you can't.
Was Chappelle performing?
And so, like, you hear all this. It's not like the Super Bowl where everything's in front of you. You hear like all these roars and stuff, and you're trying to, you know, I heard it over there near 13.
Yeah.
And you know, you don't know. You only get to see what's in front of you. It's a weird event in that sense.
Yeah, I'd like to see the Masters. The problem is it's a New Year's Eve syndrome. Is like these big things. Like I took my dad to play out at Pebble Beach.
Good call.
It's too expensive. Mm-hmm. It's like $6,000 for each of us, which is like you want to do it with your dad, but then my dad ate edibles and had a problem with cliffs. And I don't know if you know anything about Pebble Beach. There's cliffs everywhere, and we didn't get a caddy because my dad's like, I don't want some guy telling me what to do. You need to get the caddy. You need to get the caddy.
They point you in the right direction. Bert Kreischer's sitting with us. If you can't see us and you're not watching us, you recognize the voice. You've seen him on Netflix. You and Tom Segura, another one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I mean, we all dream of making a vodka. We all dream of making a bottle, and it's called putting our name on it. How did this happen?
This dream for me has been started probably 15 years ago. Well, when I first did Rogan and told the machine story, I was like, I should do a vodka. And we've had a bunch of spirits come out and reach out to us. And everything was like, we'll put your name on the bottle. It'll be our company. And Tom is a very shrewd businessman. He's like, we got the money. Let's just invest it ourselves. Let's do our own vodka and do what we like. And I put my there's 2 things I do well: have sex with my wife and drink vodka. And I put my 10,000 hours.
One is probably really important to her on the other side of that.
I just got good with that one. I really
congrats.
Just good. That's testosterone. And so, but vodka, I know what I like in a vodka. And we sampled a ton of them, met a bunch of distillers, and we found one we love. It's over distilled, so it's real pure, real clean, very round taste. Doesn't overwhelm the drink. You can mix it with anything. I love it. It's all I'll ever drink.
What do you ideally pair it with?
Soda.
I mean, like make the drink for us. You know what I mean? So that when it comes out in March, we can follow this exact recipe.
So this is my morning drink. Okay. So I don't like flying, so I drink at airports. I don't like lime. It meets me too aggressively.
Okay.
What I like is vodka. You know how much I drink. I almost said Tito's. Vodka and soda.
Hey, we're South Texas.
I can't help it, man. It's been my drink for a long time. Not anymore. I'm done saying double Tito's and soda. But what I like to do in the mornings is get a cherry on it. It puts a little red flavoring in there, and then you got a little treat at the bottom.
A little kiss.
A little kick. No one puts a cherry in there.
Yeah.
I put a cherry in.
To take it home. He was Bert Kreischer. He's the cherry at the bottom of the drink that we're talking about. I have a kid that just spent last summer studying abroad. So last May, I convinced my wife to sit down and watch your movie.
Oh, yeah.
About going abroad. And my wife at that moment was pretty sure he was going to be robbing banks, robbing trains. in Europe.
How
much? I got it. How much? Like 80% true?
That's 100% true.
Dude.
The reason it went viral is that I told the story. I put it on Facebook, and one of the first comments came out was from this woman, and her comment wrote, I was in Bert's rushing class. I was on this trip. The story's 100% true. He robbed us. And then tagged all the kids in my class.
That worked out well for you. Again,
I thought I was getting in trouble when she said that. I was like, oh, the world will turn on me because they found out I really robbed my friends. But it turned out for a good business plan.
It certainly did, man. The story of the Russian. If you haven't seen it on Netflix, make sure you're checking all this stuff. Make sure you're buying the vodka. It'll be out in March in Texas.
In Texas.
Por osos, a couple of bears drinking.
Double osos and soda, guys. That's the order. Double osos and soda.
What's the rest of the day like? You making the car wash rounds today?
I just dodged my first drink. So I was going to have a drink with Gronk over there, and I dodged it. So I'm still sober, but I'm meeting up with Tommy, and we're getting suits done. And then we have a blackjack tournament, and then me and him have dinner. And I'm going to start drinking, I think, when we're getting our suits made.
On the couch, you picking anybody this weekend?
No, I'm rooting for Christian McCaffrey to have a big game. I love that guy. I just love everything about him. We were together last year at the Super Bowl. He came out to our show, and the funnest dude. I remember I got real drunk, and I was like, yo, 10 grand. We're in a room by 20 by 20. I go, 10 grand. Can I catch you if you give me 20 minutes? And Christian McCaffrey's got a couple pops him, and he goes, buddy, there are dudes who get paid millions of dollars who train their whole life to try to catch me, and they can't catch me.
2 more osos. Give me another shot.
You load him up with some osos, and I guarantee I can get McCaffrey.
Bert Kreischer, you might know him as the Machine. You know him as a liquor purveyor. The vodka's coming to Texas. He is right here on San Antonio Sports Star 94.1. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Bert Kreischer, that was yesterday. Just to let you know what the day was like. So we had Dan Marino and Bert Kreischer stacked. One after the other. And for those of you who haven't listened to our Radio Row coverage, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and our good friends over at Synergenics. There is a hierarchy amongst all of the stations and outlets that are here. And everybody is kind of judged by who arrives at their table, because the more important the outlet, the higher level of star and whatever. So whenever you get an A level, all the other tables are like, "Hey, good get, man, good get."
Yeah,
there's a status thing about.
Bert's over there.
Yeah, so everybody you just kind of
talking to the guys who lost their van.
So you kind of sit and you're like, "Those guys got him.
Yeah.
What the hell?" So when we had it stacked, Marino and Kreischer.
Yeah,
and it was the attention getter for our little corner quadrant.
Yeah, and coincidentally, that was right when the Blitz boys showed up. Right as everything got good,
they show up right
when they decided to get
and
here.
they get the photos too. Like, hey, Mr. Marino, one more.
Yeah, Mr.
We know you don't know us,
and we know we literally did nothing. We didn't.
Showed up.
We're here too.
Speaking of, on Friday for our annual, Emmett's going to stop by as he does every year. With his Herradura personalized tequila. Will you say that again in a most appropriate Latinx fashion?
Herradura.
And there's a wrestling match every year for his bottle of tequila. I'm going to regale people with the story.
Well, to be clear, he brings one.
He brings a ceremonial bottle of tequila from his own personal cask.
And to be clear how badass Emmett is, he does that for every show he does. So he drops one.
But he only does 3 shows.
Right. But so, I'm saying, he crowns you. He christens you.
Yes, this is a big deal. So he'll show up with his entourage and his Don Julio. Who's his bottle? No, it's Herradura, isn't it?
We literally just said it.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to make sure. There's still a Bill O'Brien roaming around,
right?
And along with the Jim, he will show up with his entourage, and we will take a shot to the annual demise of the Dallas Cowboys and air our grievances.
Mm-hmm.
But there's always a wrestling match for the bottle of tequila in Atlanta. As I look over at the morning show, the Musers over there, in Atlanta, while we were. When Emmett came by early, and we did our thing, and he left his bottle of tequila. We had Pat Green scheduled right afterwards. Pat came along with one of the members of the morning show over in the Dallas area on the ticket. I'm not going to name names because I've since found out it was him. So he came along with a legendary, newly entranced Texas Broadcasting Hall of Fame sports talk radio host. They sat, Pat Green and I, us, Jason, and sat around, had a good time. They get up and leave, and about 20 minutes later, we realize our tequila's gone. And for 3 years, I blame Pat Green. In fact, I ran into him. I was like, dude, you stole our tequila. And he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He played it off. And the next time he kind of giggled. And then the final time we come to find out that one of the morning show guys from Dallas stole our Emmitt Smith tequila.
Wow.
You're less than thrilled. I thought this would be something that would keep you.
I wasn't with y'all in 2019. I was running around. But that's a tough scene, dude. And y'all got you haven't gotten revenge?
Well, we haven't. No.
Well, now's the time.
Well, no, we told Pat and we told Emmitt about, and since the two have run into each other, and it's become a topic.
Well, so my really only question at this point is, you said there's a wrestling match. How are you going to ensure?
Well, I was going to say you might be due the bottle as the newbie but I don't know if Ryan Eagle's gotten one yet.
Joe can have it. I'm a generous guy. I only have nice things to say about Joe Ryan Eagle, so you can have it.
No, it's kind of a ceremony, kind of a passing of the torch. I got mine.
Okay.
I don't think Ryan Eagle's gotten his. Maybe he's due. But the plan is, after the abuse we're going to take for the next 72 hours, that maybe we should end up with the tequila because we've earned it. And here's the crazy thing. They let us drive again.
About the van thing.
Yeah. If you haven't, you're going to hear a lot of negative and probably outlandishly embellished details of what went on yesterday afternoon. But we owe it to ourselves to defend ourselves.
We lost the van.
We lost the van. We've since found it, so everybody can calm down.
Yeah.
But we were thinking about, at one point, legitimately saying, hey, calling the rental car agency, saying the battery's dead, bring us another car, and just kind of disappearing and letting them go find it while they gave us a new car. But we found
Tommy, the security officer, helped out. Although, I want to address something else, but we were about to find it.
Before we begin the story, the ending was imminent, whether it was ended by a policeman on a bike who looked at us like we were 5, or we would have found the car. It was going to happen within a minute when it did happen.
What has to be understood here is that when Rob and I get here, it is earlier than early.
Okay, so let's start the story where it should begin.
The ticket from the garage, the parking garage for yesterday was yielded or whatever at 3:17 a.m.
Okay, so at 3:05 a.m., we are still in our house. You know why we're still in our house? Because our designated driver texted us after we had all gone to sleep. Hey, I'm not going to drive. You take yourself. Well, that involves a little bit of extra effort, and a little time was lost. And then we couldn't find the keys. So we had already left the house late, and we're in a hurry to come back and entertain you.
So we were scrambling. We get here, 3:17, and that's just the time we pulled the ticket out of the machine.
Yes.
Right, so like we're circling around, and there's obviously not a lot of people here at that time.
Is everybody buying this, I hope? So far, so good, right?
But because nobody was there, we somehow, unbeknownst to us, wound up in the employee
I was driving.
parking garage.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I'll take the hit on that one.
But when we got out of the van, there was somebody holding the elevator, and we both felt the stress of having to get there.
You're 30 feet away. The guy's holding it. The door's trying to shut. And he's like, come on, guys, come on.
Right.
And so we're hauling balls with all of our stuff, backpacks and all.
Right. And we ran, and we got in the elevator, and then we got out, and he just ran out of the elevator. And we noted that it was a weird exit.
We opened up into an employee hall.
Yeah. But we kind of just, no pun intended, blitzed past that because we had to get where we currently are right now because we were so late, to your point. So the whole day goes on. You actually Ubered home for the middle of the day, and then came back, and then we all had to go get the van. And I'm not blaming Jason, but Jason led the charge to the garage. We were just following him.
Right.
And then we get there, and we're looking for the van, and then we're stressed because we can't find the van. And it wasn't until Jason and Joe had roped in Tommy, the security guard,
who had a thick Boston accent, and spoke to us like, so which one of you idiots drove?
And so they gave him the keys on his bike to ride around and just beep, beep, the whole kind of garage. But while that was happening,
we realized.
I remembered the weird hallway that we came out to. And so we then went and found the weird hallway.
At 3:15 in the morning.
Yes.
That hallway.
And that specific hallway had a specific elevator that accessed specific floors of the garage that were not accessible by way of how Jason got us to the garage.
So the elevators we were on wouldn't take us
right,
to the
and
floor
so
where
we,
our car was.
we looked through all of the finite possibilities that were accessible to us, unrealizing that there was an infinite, magical portal, Bermuda Triangle of parking that we had stumbled into at 3 a.m. I did want to get to this because we didn't talk about it, but Alexandra noted in the Brigade bar that Tony Pollard gave me the pillow. You were talking about the bottle of tequila. I already walked away with it.
That's right. You got the pillow.
Yeah, he gave me a pillow, and he wanted us.
I was looking out for you, my brother. So
what do you
now
mean
that
you
you're
were
out-
looking out for me?
I wanted you to get the
fought,
tequila.
No.
No.
Okay, but you fought for the pillow. You said, "Well, I
already have one."
No, but don't walk it back now. This is
That's what I told him. I said, "Hey, man, he's already got
This is a
one.
bad look. For
Check
you.
the tape.
You
Let's do the."
You said that was your pitch to him to get the pillow, and then I said, "I don't have any Sleep Number
Oh,
properties,
that's right.
so
He had
you've
to
got to
sell it to
balance it out." And then I said, "We're not going to rock paper scissors. You have to decide."
Did you use it?
I didn't because I was asked that. Somebody asked me if I was going to use it. I don't have a pillowcase.
Okay.
I'm not going to use it without a pillowcase. It's just the pillow, like you know what I mean. Like,
Why don't you take the pillowcase off the pillow that's already there?
Because then I'll forget it, and I want to take this home.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's we're
But there are pillowcases.
well, yeah. I mean, I'm not sleeping on a pillowcaseless pillow right now in the Airbnb. But what I'm saying is, I don't want to use a non-RJ pillowcase on a pillow that was given to me as a gift. You know what I mean? Like I want to treat it with proper and due respect.
I don't know if I'd have just gotten something like that. I'd have made Mr. Tony Pollard happy and slept on it and given it a review.
Tony had a chance to give it to you.
You didn't do that. But then again, we didn't get to finish our story. So let's finish the story and reflect on what Pollard said. And we're just about out of time in this hour. And the next hour might very well be the highlight of my week. But we spend an hour and a half finally searching.
It was literally that long. Like that's not an exaggeration.
Oh.
That's not a joke. We literally walked around that long.
Yesterday, my step counter, 24,000 steps. Most of which occurred between, 5 and 5:30, or 5 and 5:30.
Local.
Oh no, 5 and 6:30. Excuse me, an hour and a half.
Local for us.
Yes.
And we were starving. We were so excited to go.
So we didn't even go out.
Yeah.
Had some good pizza though.
But again, I can't stress enough that it wasn't like we were missing the car. The way we entered the garage by how Jason led us there were escalators and elevators, and there were floors 2, 3, and 4. We combed through all of them because those are the only ones that we could see and we could get to. But we did not realize at the moment, in the middle of the stress, we forgot about our magic portal elevator that took us to the 5th floor that you couldn't access from where we were at.
Which, by the way, was the employee parking lot, which we have no idea how we managed to park it.
Well, I'll put on you because you were the one driving the van.
I think this is why we are doing this right now, because as the day goes on, you are going to hear outlandish details that probably did not occur. So I ask you very patiently, as you hear these stories, just remember the facts as we gave them to you. I will accept that I don't know how I got into the employee parking lot. I don't know how we got up to the 5th floor. I honestly didn't think we went that high. That being said, everything else I think is plausible and entirely excusable.
We haven't provided enough kind of blame amongst each other. I think you deserve the blame for driving and for winding up there. I deserve the blame because you said when we were getting in the elevator under the stress of the guy, you said, I'm not going to remember this.
Yeah, I knew at that moment we were in trouble.
And I said I would. And I did remember.
What was the code 2 above the C?
The button.
But the C, you were right.
Yeah, so in the elevator that we got in, the guy pushed it for us and he pushed C. And that was 2 buttons below where we were at. So that's why when we got into the elevator that Jason took us to, I said, oh, it's 2 above C, which is where we were. But we weren't in the right elevator. So that's what happened.
That's what happened, and we're sticking to it. So as you hear it, remember, this is just a tease to help the guys remember our side of the story. I got tickets for you right now. If you want to go see Nimesh Patel, get on the phone, 656-3776. If Edwin talks to you, you get him. We'll be back. This is the Morning Huddle. You're on 94.1, San Antonio's Sports Star.
If you miss the Blitz with Jason and Joe, then you miss this.
Wade Phillips joining us here in studio on the Blitz. Business decision versus a winning decision. Is Jerry more about business than winning?
No, he's all about winning. And not anything against other owners, but his bottom line is to win. You know, if there's a player out there that you convince him we need to win, he's going to pay the money to get it.
Right home with the Blitz. Afternoons 2 to 6 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Are you tired of going to the dentist over and over again? Hi, I'm Dr. Andrew Mueller, Chief Oral Surgeon at Doctors Implants.
We have put a lot of money into fixing my teeth over and over and over again, you know, a filling or a crown or a this or that.
At Doctors Implants, replacing your teeth with full mouth dental implants might be the long-term solution you're looking for.
The 6-Hour Smile is a permanent full mouth teeth replacement. Your new smile will be custom designed to fit your face and lifestyle and will look and function just like regular teeth. You won't need to remove them from your mouth overnight, and you won't need adhesive to keep them in place. Eat freely and smile confidently again. Research them at doctorsimplants.com. Receive a complimentary doctor's consultation and CT scan when you call 210-640-0000. Again, that's 210-640-0000.
Home of the 6-Hour Smile.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99. Only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt! Yeah!
Hey, it's Rob Thompson here for SA Card House. Over there on San Pedro, you know where it is, 13400 San Pedro right there at Bitters. One of my favorite places to go for a lot of reasons. It's not just about the restaurant and the bar, which is a reason to be. It's not just about the atmosphere and the great games and all the prizes that go along with being a San Antonio Card House member. It's a vibe. It's a thing that you get. Whether you're a brand new player, they have brand new classes for you to get you interested in playing, to teach you how to play the game. They got great membership rates. They've got food to serve at great atmosphere while you're playing, or if you just bring your friends and family to play. But it's an atmosphere of success and fun, and that's why I go to SA Card House, and that's why you need to give them a try. Go check out their website, sacardhouse.com, but you're not going to know until you go. It's a private social club waiting for you to come and play. It's at Bitters in San Pedro. It is my SA Card House. Head there today. Thank me later.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive asks, what do an escaped leopard,
We're live from the zoo where a leopard has escaped.
a growling stomach, an uneaten tuna sandwich, and a backdoor doggy door have in common? They can lead to an unexpected kitchen renovation.
Yeah, hi. Is this the zoo? Your leopard is in my kitchen.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM Floresville.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
In the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys continue their defensive coordinator search. Next on the list, according to Todd Archer, is New York Jets safety coach Marquand Manuel. That is significant because not only did he play for Dan Quinn, he coached with him as well. Spurs started the Rodeo Road Trip with a loss. They went down to Miami 116-104. Jimmy Butler got a triple-double. Victor got a double.
This Sports Center update is brought to you by Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 100% satisfaction guarantee.
How good you want to be? From play one to the last play, we fighting. Today's about opportunity and character. We got a chance to come out here and play football. It's a blessing. Hey, every season is full of defining moments. Let's make this day a defining moment for us in our quest. Let's go, baby.
This is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star with Rob Thompson and the managing editor of Blogging the Boys, RJ Ochoa. Now, here are the guys.
Hey, huddle up. We got something to talk about. This is the Morning Huddle. That's RJ Ochoa, the managing editor of Blogging the Boys. I am Rob Thompson, the bespectacled car loser. You are listening live from Media Row here on the lovely New York Strip here at Mandalay Bay. It's all brought to you, of course, by our good friends over at AA Best Bail Bonds, Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds, and Synergenics, of which we have all of their promotional materials on our desk. All the cool kids have them. And this hour is set aside solely for the cool kids. I'm kind of giddy, not going to lie.
Why?
I'm searching the floor as we speak, looking for our live guest coming up in about 10 minutes, and I'm getting a little nervous. Andrew Zimmern, he have the Travel Channel, he have the Food Network, Bizarre Foods, and a variety of other cooking platforms that he is, in my mind, the finest to have ever done it. It's due here in about 15 minutes. You, on the other hand, as I break with Zimmern, you are going to be talking, or we'll have Jordan Addison on the other side of things. So we're going to do something daring. We're going to separate the cords. We're going to separate the streams. We're not going to cross them because we know what happens there.
Right.
And separate and then gather together again.
Yeah, this is a new venture
for the technical feat.
Yeah, during the break we were zip zapping and doodling, and we're ready to roll. But if like a butterfly lands on this, it's going to be like a cartoon.
Yes, it's going to entirely collapse. But but it begins with Andrew Zimmern, who.
You look. Oh, Rob is okay. So let me describe the scene, because Rob, I don't know.
I planned my entire trip about.
I know there's a lot of people who have been listening to the station for a long time, and y'all rock. I mean, and obviously. But if you're newer around here, whatever, for whatever reason, this is Rob. So I'll tell a story while we kind of buy some time. Now 6 years ago, we were in Minnesota at the Super Bowl, back when it was Rob and Jason on the Blitz, and we were at the media party, which we went to the other night. And this particular year, it was everything was in the Mall of America, and the party was in the amusement park. Yeah. And so Jason had just ruined Brad Paisley's night, and he was dealing with the fallout of that. And Rob and I were walking around, and we were talking about something, was kind of looking forward and this and that, and we were having a conversation, and I started speaking and looked forward, and then I looked over to my left where Rob was, and he was just gone. I mean, like he had apparated. He was just completely and totally gone, and I actually got a little bit worried. And so I turned around and was kind of scanning through the sea of people, and I couldn't hear him because he was a little bit far away. I could just see Rob aggressively talking with his hands, like a drum major. I mean, just completely and totally executing, moving his hands in every which way direction. And I didn't.
Well, the restraining order's been lifted.
Well, I didn't know who it was. And so I didn't want to go Krampus style. I mean, you know what I mean? Rob's my boy. And so, Robbie T, do what you're going to do. And so I let things kind of cool off. So I thought, and I walk over and Rob is like, "You have no idea who I just spoke to." And I was like, "I obviously don't." That's why, I'm kind of confused. He's like, "That was Andrew Zimmern. I love him. I adore him." And he's still doing the hands. And I'm like, "Dude, we're not landing planes here. Just calm down a little bit." And he's like, "No, he is my Patronus. He is my guy. He is whatever. He is a food authority."
He is a wonderful man.
Well, and I don't think you got to speak to him that year. I've
run into him in most of the Super Bowls.
At least since, but
that year, that was it.
Yeah.
But no. We ran into each other again, and I met his lovely wife.
Well, he remembered you for.
Because of the TRO, because of the legal proceedings that did follow from year to year. That's why we can only see each other once a year, because the TRO lasts 365.
Yeah, in the amnesty section of
it wears off and he has to refile. So it wore off, and we do expect him here in just a couple of minutes.
But we've interviewed a lot of cool people so far this week, and Rob's been relatively chill the entire time.
I've been doing this long enough. I'm not plussed, and I'm not trying to act like big time or nothing. But after you do this long enough, you realize these are all just regular guys doing a different job.
Yeah, Rob's like, hey, Dan, you got M&Ms? All right, cool, man. All right, cool. Hey, Tony, you gave Arja the pillow? That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, Rob ain't breaking a sweat. But this is all day long.
This is something different.
This is AZ Day.
I know my priorities might be way out of whack, but this is, man, I'm a little verklempt. We have lots of questions, too, because South Texas, I know he's a big fan of Aaron Taylor. He's a big fan of a variety of chefs through South Texas. And
Rob Thompson.
Yes.
I'm saying he's a big fan of Rob.
No, see, I know where I stand. There are chefs, there are cooks.
What's something that you want to ask him so we can all look forward to it?
Well, there is a guy who cooks. He's got a series out right now where he's cooking wild game.
Right.
And I'm not a fan of most of the wild game in general. I like to hunt, and that's the other thing. How he makes things more palatable, watching him do that and treat the different meats and adding flavor to some of those things is a question for mine, but that's kind of above the pay grade. The easy thing is best possible recipe for ribs over the holiday, over the Super Bowl day, 3, 2, 1. What does he like to do? Both beef and pork. I think we're going to address that.
I wanted
talk about the craziest thing he's ever eaten and that kind of stuff.
I wanted to know that so that when you ask those questions, the audience could be like, "This was the moment. This is the moment Rob was waiting for."
Well, here's you want to get in on a little secret. I'm trying to get him down to a place that I go hunting, and I'm trying to get him to kind of get together, and because we've been kind of playing with this idea for a couple of years, so I'm trying to nail that down. So if you hear me asking questions about hunting and venison and other exotic game that can be had at a place that I go, I'm trying to put something together that I can be a part of so I can watch him cook. So at the end of the day, it's all about me and finding a way for him to cook and have me eat what he's made.
Do you recognize that what you just said was, I'm trying to find a way for him and I to become best friends?
Best friends. And if at some point if I say, have we just become best friends? If I ask him to name his favorite dinosaur, throw some water on me because it's gone a little too far.
Well, I mean, I'm going to try to get out of Jordan Addison early because I'm going to make sure I can come take your picture because
somebody better be taking my picture.
Well, the Blitz boys were supposed to be here for all this stuff, and I haven't seen them. I'm sure Joe is doing hard work somewhere. I mean, maybe, but or maybe they were inspired by the sphere climbing, and they're working on that, or who knows? I know Jason texted, but I don't see it.
This is going to be the. Hope he's here. Giddy.
I mean,
should we give him something? Should we write a song or
what do you have food wise?
I have nothing. I have nothing to offer.
That's not true. You have a plate of pastries.
That's not worthy of him. Well, the great Mr. Andrew Zimmern.
You have peppermints.
I do have peppermints, which if you get offered a mint, take it.
Yeah.
First of all, if anybody ever offers, but at the second, if you do offer, you better have a reason to offer because the person better take it.
Right.
So I'm not going to offer him mints, even if it's.
Yeah. I mean, look, this is a big moment. This is like what I'm transported to 1969. Like they're about to do it. Like they're about to take. Like we're going to the moon. You know what I mean? Like you're going to the moon right now.
I'm not sure he'll even remember who I am.
That is so not true. Let's see here.
There he is.
Are you ready?
Everybody should just take a deep breath. Everybody calm down. Everybody take a deep breath. Let's go to break. Coming back, one of our absolute favorites. He's a regular around these parts, and I can't wait to talk to him. His name is Andrew Zimmern. You've seen him from a variety of the cable outlets, and he will be right here on San Antonio Sports Star. We'll be right back here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. As we head into a busy, busy weekend, you better be physically ready to go, right? If there's something in your life that's keeping you from doing things that you love, I want you to listen close because there's a fix out there. It's called a Rosti. A Rosti providers are all around San Antonio with one goal in mind, and that's to get you out of pain as fast as possible. And the way they do it is absolutely unique. It has nothing to do with pills to hide the medication or some kind of surgery to prolong the pain. I'm talking about something that will actually fix it. They use a variety of methods, chiropractic just a part of it, physical therapy, just your average everyday little bit of work, and before you know it, you are back in the game. It's remarkable. I've had lower back issues most of my adult life. I walked into a Rosti, well, I should say limped into a Rosti, and I'll tell you what, 3 visits later, I was back in the game. I could not believe it, and I've been proud to work with them ever since. So if you're dealing with something that's bothering you, whether it be a sprain or a strain, maybe it's a lower back issue like mine, or you ever had one of those tension headaches that starts in the middle of your back and punches you in the nose, they can fix that too. That's a Rosti. They're all around San Antonio. They're going to accept most insurances. And, by the way, they'll be happy to see you with a full examination. Call a Rosti today. Get yourself fixed. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. They're out there today. Call them. And I know when you get there, you're going to be thanking me later.
The Sports Star Boys are in Vegas for the big game.
Road trip! Remember, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Robin, RJ, and Jason and Joe are in Sin City and Radio Row for the big game, with security provided by AA Best Bail Bonds.
Let's go to Vegas. We'll all get drunk and
Woo! I think you gonna get away with it. Not up in here.
Not up in here.
Powered by AA Best Bail Bonds, Gen X, Southern Recipes, Small Batch Pork Rinds, and 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
All right, guys, who's ready for the biggest game of the season this Sunday? Hey, it's James Pletcher. Come pregame with me and San Antonio Sports Star and the lovely ladies of Twin Peaks out at the Twin Peaks Park North location starting at noon. Show up early. The first 100 fans get a free square, and every fan will walk away with a free fried pickles bounce back. This is going on at all 4 area Twin Peaks locations. So come join me this Sunday and register to win tickets to Machine Head while you're here. That's starting at noon at Twin Peaks Park North, 410 and Blanco Road.
Okay, if you love playing fantasy sports like I do, take it to the next level with Prize Picks. It's the #1 daily fantasy sports app. This is Rob Thompson, and right now, with the big game around the corner, NBA in full swing, there's no better way to get into the action than with Prize Picks. Just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projections on a wide variety of stats, and place your entry. It's that easy. You can turn $10 into $250 just like that in 2 taps. I love the easy gameplay, the quick withdrawals, and huge selection of players, the stat options, and more. And check this out. Prize Picks is the only daily fantasy platform with injury protection insurance. It'll keep you in the game even if one of your players isn't. It's great. Over 7 million sports fans have already signed up, and I'm one of them. So join me and watch your favorite players and get paid doing it right now. Just download the Prize Pick app and use the code ALAMO. That's ALAMO on Prize Picks for your first deposit. And they'll match up to $100. Prize Picks. Pick more. Pick less. It's that easy.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
What does it feel like to file with TaxSlayer and get your guaranteed maximum refund? It feels like the last level of a video game, facing off against the final boss who stands between you and your refund.
All your refund has belonged to me.
Using the power of TaxSlayer like a secret power-up he doesn't see coming.
Only the most tax confident can defeat me.
Throwing your laptop at his video game face and watching him crumble into a giant pile of shiny coin tax refunds.
Oh, not fair. You use TaxSlayer.
Start for free and get your guaranteed maximum refund. TaxSlayer. File fearlessly.
Shop can't miss deals on appliances this President's Day at Lowe's. Right now, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an extra $75 on every $750 you spend on all major appliances, like LG, America's most reliable line of home appliances. Shop in-store or online for more deals you can't beat. Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows home improvement. Valid through 2/28. Savings vary based on purchase amount. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com for more details.
Super Bowl 58 in Vegas is set. It's the Chiefs and Niners. Hear it right here on your exclusive home for the Super Bowl. 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
got something to talk about. This is the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. One of the great perks of my job, one, is to get to talk sports day in and day out. The people I get to keep company with and the folks and places I get to go see. And this is one of the highlights of my year. As we travel to media rows around the country, the Super Bowl brings together all parts of popular culture into one fantastic 8-hour day that includes the sport, the food, the family, and fun. And the Super Bowl kind of represents that on a macro basis. I am joined right now by one of my absolute favorites, Andrew Zimmern of a variety of networks, where I see you on all those because of all the different shows that you've done.
Yeah.
What is the most current place to find you right now?
Well, it's interesting you say that because television has changed.
Right.
So there's a whole new generation of fans who have discovered 800 hours of me on
eating weird stuff and
streaming on Max.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I love your new show. Which one? The one where you go around the world and eat the weird stuff. I'm like, that was my first show. Right
Bizarre
now,
Foods, by the way.
yeah, Bizarre Foods right now, and Delicious Destinations, and Driven by Food.
We could keep going.
Dinner. I mean, I've got 9 different shows on the Max streamer. MSNBC has my What's Eating America docuseries, and then Outdoor Channel, which is the newest place I've found a home, made me an offer I couldn't refuse. For like 20 years, people came to me and said, we want you to do a dump and stir show.
Dump and
That's
stir.
where you stand behind a cutting board and cook. And I
which is an art, by the way.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's great. But I think the reason that I've been successful doing my shows is I never want to do a show that someone else could do. I want to do a show that only I can do. I'd rather be the only. I don't need to be the best. I just want to be the only. And so they came to me and said, would you do a dump and stir show? We know you love to hunt and fish. And I said, yes. And they were like, excuse me? Like, we weren't really ready for that. I said, yes, done deal. And so we've just finished our 3rd season. It's doing great on Outdoor Channel. Tastemade has secondary rights, so they're a season behind. It's the most watched show on Tastemade, and we've plussed it up for season 4, premiering in the fall. So it's going to be really, really amazing. I love doing it because I get to go out, hunt, fish, take it back, and most importantly, cook it over open fire.
I was going to say the unique challenges of outdoor open fire cooking and the challenges of recording and doing all the video and audio along with that must be a bit of a challenge.
But it's fun. I mean, at this point in my life, some people I shouldn't speak for everyone. Some people like to take it easy. I just want to more challenges. I want to die in the saddle, and I want to keep. I love to keep learning too. Well, I mean, if you're not teachable, I think you're wasting your life.
And that's one of the reasons I've enjoyed all of the things that you've done. You always have been very open with the process behind everything that you've prepared. And you show the easy, the tough, and you'll tell us that this is something not for the faint of heart. You're not afraid to say, this wasn't good, man. I didn't appreciate this, but for a lot of reasons. We don't have a lot of time. So there's so many things that I want to get into while we're here. One of our great listeners, a cohort, texted in and was asking about beef ribs. And I saw that you're a fan of a particular guy down in South Texas, Aaron, and you posted his recipe. When you look around the country and talk, South Texas are smoked meats.
Yep.
What makes Texas unique, and what is the recipe that you prefer when you're talking about a big old rack of Bronto ribs?
What makes Texas unique is the history behind it. You had everything that came up from Central and South America. You had everything that came in through the Gulf, right, in terms of seasonings and cooking styles. And it all met with what's conveniently known as the barbecue trail, where Eastern Europeans, Czechs, Germans, came down through the Carolinas and made a hard, I guess, right turn at that point and wound up in southeastern Texas. Now, what this has done, it has created a confluence of flavors and techniques. So I like, for beef ribs, because they're so fatty, I like something acidic. Think apple juice, think wine, think citrus, right? Let it marinate. Again, low and slow. I like finishing hard, right? In other words, I'll let this thing get falling off the bone tender, almost, because you don't want it to really fall off the bone, but almost. And then just put it over high heat, get a nice crust on it, and serve it with something else that's acidic. No matter what you do with those big beef ribs, they're going to be very fatty. So I just want to make sure I have acid with it, and they're perfect.
When you talk about getting the acid and all those things, the confluence of things come together with the ribs and the brisket, which of course is South Texas. When you're also really good with wild game. Yep. And one of your latest shows have really gotten me into some of the things that, quite frankly, I didn't think I would like. What is the best way to address a meat that might be challenging in the spicing or whatever, but is worthy with a level of preparation? You know what I mean?
It's never the spicing or the seasoning.
Okay.
Ever. Because a really good piece of meat, right, you just grill a luxury cut, serve it with salt, and people will go, wow, that's the best thing I've ever eaten. That doesn't mean you can't season it. I'll take working cuts of the animal and make a curry with it, braise it for a long time, and make bracciole, right? A classic Italian dish in the Sunday gravy. I think what's really important is understanding that wild animals have much less fat that's intramuscular. And so therefore you have to make sure not to overcook it.
So venison,
get really
you
dry.
need to make sure you keep it medium at most.
And I think the other waste of time for people is not everything needs to get ground, right? If you have shanks of venison, treat them like lamb shanks. You'll be really rewarded, right? Don't and ask your, whoever's breaking down the animal for you, give me the back strap, the tenderloin, one leg, and grind everything else.
My butcher right now is laughing.
I mean, it's just
me right now.
You gotta respect the animal. I do think, and obviously I'm here this weekend because of Taste of the NFL, our hunger relief organization. That Gen Youth puts on every year. We're raising millions of dollars. It's the biggest fundraiser NFL sponsored during all of Super Bowl week. And I've been doing it now for 20 some odd years. And tasteofthenfl.com, people can go donate, get tickets, whatever you want to do. But what you see there are lots of chefs from all over the country who are coming in and doing different things. I think Tim Love is actually, who's from Texas, from Dallas-Fort Worth area, is actually cooking some game this year. I'm doing my black bean chili.
I was going to ask. All right, black bean.
I wanted to do it with antelope. We couldn't get the 1,000 pounds that we needed. It's sufficient to the quality that I like. So I'm doing it with pork. But yeah, cooking is so much fun, and cooking with different animals is so much fun. And I think for folks that are really into it, check it out. The other thing that we do with Wild Game Kitchen that I think is special is I don't do any recipes that someone else couldn't go to a supermarket and get a complimentary meat. So if I'm working with wild turkey, I do a recipe that works with a commercial turkey. If I'm doing wild hog, I want to make sure that you can go to your supermarket, because not everyone has access to those meats. So we want to make sure that, that I pull a trout out of the brook, I cook it. I want to make sure you can do it with a piece of salmon.
Well, there's a lot of hunters right now with a full freezer. I might recommend that Taste Made channel wherever you can find your favorite cooking shows, because Zimmer's going to be on one of those channels. Find what he does. It is a learning tool, and it makes you appreciate what you've done even that much more. Andrew, it is such an honor and a pleasure. And what you're doing with the Taste the NFL this weekend is a phenomenal event. And you're right. It is the must-go-to ticket in town, no matter what city, even in Vegas. Pleasure, man. Take care of yourself. Take care. As always, Andrew Zimmern, one of our absolute favorites right here on San Antonio Sports Star. You're on 94.1, and we got more coming. Hold on tight. What do you hear from what's in our limo? It's going to be interesting. RJ got him something. It'll be right back. You're on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, it is day 4 on Radio Row at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas. Another star-studded guest list highlighted by Cowboys running back Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard is going to stop by, and also guys with gold jackets like Bruce Smith. He's going to be here. We'll also visit with Jaws, Ron Jaworski, Warren Sapp, and so much more.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I still get PMS. You know what I mean? So
why
I
don't you
don't
get
know.
a hysterectomy in California?
Actually, I've
they
had
pay
a
for
partial
everything.
hysterectomy, smart ass.
Why didn't you get a full?
I don't know. I don't know why they didn't just gut me.
When they gut you, like a fish, do you age out quicker? Does that estrogen keep you a little younger?
Do you flop around on the dock? The John Clay Wolf Show, every Saturday morning.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show, Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon, right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Creed. Are You Ready Tour with very special guests 3 doors down. and Mammoth WVH. Friday, November 15th at Moody Center. Tickets on sale Friday at 10 a.m. at Ticketmaster.com. Don't miss Creed with Three Doors Down and Mammoth WVH on the Are You Ready Tour.
The Golf Club of Texas has some of the best course conditions with the friendliest staff. The golf is great. They have lighted driving range and practice area. While it feels like a country club, it's not a private club. It's open to the public, so bring the family into the Tin Cup Bar, the nicest sit-down restaurant in that area of San Antonio, specializing in Texas food, wine, and spirits. For golf or dinner, go to the Golf Club of Texas off Highway 90, online at golfclubtexas.com. The Golf Club of Texas, the friendliest golf course in Texas.
Now is the best time to buy a Connecticut water softener. With current models being closed out to make way for the new ones, you can save big. Call Connecticut at 656-PURE and tell them Dave Ramsey sent you. That's 656-PURE.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 210-615-7777 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Attention all homeowners, do you know when to replace your windows? Feeling too hot or cold? It's time to replace. Fog between the glass? Time to replace. Spending too much on expensive energy that literally goes out the window? It's definitely time to replace. If you've put off replacing windows in your home because it's too expensive, here's great news. You can now get a free in-home window consultation and free price quote from Renewal by Andersen, the company with the most 5-star reviews among leading full-service window replacement companies. And right now, you can save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. Just call 800-NEW-WINDOWS for your free consultation on top quality, affordable windows or patio doors for $0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for a year. That's right, you don't pay a dime for an entire year. Plus, save $359 off every window and $887 off every door. But hurry, these big dollar savings end this month. Call 800-NEW-WINDOWS right now. Don't wait. Call 800-NEW-WINDOWS. 800
Welcome back to the Morning Huddle here on 94.1 San Antonio sports star RJ Ochoa here in Las Vegas on Radio Row. And through the magic of all technology, I'm talking to one of my very favorite players in the world, in the NFL specifically, coming from one of my favorite universities. It is Jordan Addison. Jordan, thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
No problem. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm a little bit tired, if I'm being honest. I've got a great job. I've got no complaints. You know, a bad day here is better than, the best day in most places. I would imagine that's true for you as an NFL player. Is that so?
That's so. You got to keep chasing, though. Keep chasing.
That's true. Something I was so curious about, the moment you were drafted, the weather difference. It's got to be dramatic. Like, you can be honest with me. Like, it's got to be insane to go from, LA to Minnesota.
All right, look, it is dramatic, but I'm from Maryland, though, so I've been in the cold. Yeah, so it wasn't nothing to me.
So you were asking.
And I knew we played in the dome. I knew we played in the dome, too.
They're smart. Like, I love the Bills, but get out of here with this, like, we want an open stadium thing. Like, nobody likes it. It's ridiculous to me. But so a few years ago, you were asking about Radio Row and kind of the magic and craziness of this. When the Super Bowl was in Minnesota, you were just a young kid at the time. They put us in the Mall of America in the food court. It was crazy. And it was very different than this, a lot more hectic. And every time I went out to eat in Minnesota, people would ask if I'd had a Juicy Lucy. So you've been there almost a year. I imagine you've had one at some point.
No, I ain't had one of those.
Do you know what it is? Because if not, I'm excited to tell you.
It's a burger. I just know it's a burger, right?
Well, it's a burger, but they wrap the ground beef or whatever around cheese. So it's got cheese in it. But so when you eat it, you kind of have to cut it in half and let it cool because the cheese is like liquid magma. Oh, have you not had one? You've been there for like a year, like I said.
Yeah, I ain't too much into that. What, you got to cut your burger to eat it?
Well, if not, you're going to burn your tongue. I'm just look. You're going to be there a long time.
You had one?
I had one when I was there, but I'm looking out for you because I want you to be a star in the NFL forever, like you've already been. And I don't want you to burn your tongue. So when you get one served to you, cut it in half and let it cool. I promise you'll thank me later. What was your rookie season like? It was so unique, and obviously the injuries and everyone was so excited to see you paired with JJ, but then he was hurt, and then you thrived. I mean, what was the whole roller coaster like that finally is in the rearview mirror for you?
Yeah, it was just up and down. Like looking back on it now, I could say it was a wild ride. But when we was in it, even though everybody was hurt, like we was all still in there. Everybody was still in the meeting. Everybody was still out at practice. So it was still like everybody was with us, but they just wasn't there on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? So it was tough. It was tough. Playing with a lot of different QBs. It was tough, but I enjoyed the experience, and I wouldn't want it any different.
Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Jordan Addison with us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I would, throughout the season, things change, and I cover the Dallas Cowboys, so you can imagine what that's like. But a take I had was that KOC was not getting enough love for what y'all were doing. Amid the injuries, and to your point, the fact that everybody was so in it and disciplined and ready and fighting. I mean, Kevin O'Connell is one of the best coaches in the NFL.
Yeah, I love KOC, but he gonna get the credit. He gonna get it. He gonna get it when it's his time. But I see what you're saying, but it's gonna come. It's gonna come for everybody else to see it.
I like that confidence. There was a real quiet confidence about the Vikings, obviously, as everything kind of happened and everybody fell in love with the Josh Dobbs story. And even Kirk, who I know you didn't play with a lot and haven't played with a lot yet, but you were aware of Kirk and, what the internet says about him before you were drafted. It felt like he became more likable across the season, even after he got hurt. Was that your sense as far as the outside world?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I know people who always liked him. So just being from that area when he was in Washington.
Right.
So I don't really know what the media was saying before, but after me playing with him, I think like he liked that to me. Top QB.
So I interviewed him at a Super Bowl a few years ago. He was still in Washington at the time. And our show is in San Antonio, and I got a lot of crap for this from my coworkers. I forgot to ask him something. Do you happen to know who his favorite NBA team is?
His favorite NBA team? Who his favorite NBA team?
He's a Spurs fan. You don't see that happen a lot. And so, but
I wasn't going to guess.
You think about old school Spurs, a beautiful game. I mean, it's kind of easy for people to love. Who do you like? I mean, who what are other sports? Because now you got a little bit of time. What are other sports you enjoy when you're not obviously training?
I watch a little bit of basketball. I don't got no team though. I just like players.
What do you like? Who are your guys?
James Harden, KD and James Harden.
So what about Wemby?
Oh, he's straight. Actually, he been hooping. He been hooping.
Yeah,
Wemby has been hooping, but I like KD and Harden.
Well, Wemby's like the new KD, and so that's really cool. And
Man,
he's gonna be, dude. He's gonna be. If you play fantasy basketball or anything like that, you want a piece of Wemby. Trust me, he's the real deal.
I might gotta watch.
Look at me, Jordan. I'm giving you all sorts of advice. I'm telling you to pick up stock in Wemby. I'm telling you how to eat a Juicy Lucy. I'm here to look out for you. And so you're here to look out really for everyone.
So what you rate your Juicy Lucy?
I'm sorry?
You rate your Juicy Lucy?
You
rate it, Juicy Lucy?
That's a great question. I would say it's a good 8 out of 10. It's overwhelming, you know what I mean? Because it's a lot of cheese. And you can't really use ketchup or anything like that. But it's
all right. Yeah, I don't really eat cheese for real.
Yeah. So if you're not a cheese person, you're not going to like it, but it's an experience worth having. You go to Italy, you got to have a whole pizza, slice of pie. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. And you're
a little bit different.
Exactly.
A little bit.
So I was saying that you need to look out for me because I'm looking out for you. And you're really looking out for everyone, though, with Sleep Number. Now, I have something I want to show you in a minute. The radio audience can't see it, but my first question is, what is your sleep number, your exact one?
45.
So we talked to Tony.
Number 45.
We talked to Tony Pollard, and he's a 75. So what's going on with Tony? Why is it so different here? What's happening?
I don't know his preference. It's all about your preference. That's why you got to get you a sleep number bed and just lay on it and then have them adjusted. But I like 45 because it's not too firm, not too soft. It's just perfect.
So I'm cool with you. I'm cool with this idea of a 45. But Jordan, again, I'm giving you lots of advice. Tony not only told me a sleep number, he gave me a sleep number pillow. Look at this. I mean, I'm never gonna sleep uncomfortably for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. I mean, they partner with Crucial Catch. If I would have gave you one, you would have been getting another one for free though. So for me, you would have had two.
You know what? I'll hit you up on Instagram. We'll figure it out. It'll all be good.
Tap in.
What's it? So you grew up in a really interesting time in college football, obviously. Everybody's heard your NIL story. Everybody saw USC. Everybody's really excited to see Caleb this year, obviously. It'd be super fun if he's in Chicago with the division rivalry and things like that. I'm sure y'all have maybe joked about that, whatever. But additionally, you've grown up in an era where, like I mentioned, fantasy is like a really common thing for you, I'm sure, playing your whole life. And you stormed onto the scene this season. And I'm sure you've heard from Vikings fans or whoever, maybe Trojans fans, that you won them their fantasy league. Like, was that really weird to adjust to, you know, in terms of being a part of people's lives in that way?
I mean, I still really don't even know too much about fantasy. I don't even know how to, I don't know how it works.
It's I'll save you the details. The better you do, the better we do. You know what I mean? We're rooting for catches. We're rooting for yards. We're rooting for touchdowns. That's why when you guys played the Niners on Monday Night Football, that super awesome game, I was brave. I started Jordan Addison. I won my match.
And I seen on the TV, it said cut him. It said bench him. I seen my name on there. I said, oh, yeah. All right.
Well, look, I mean, nothing against you.
Hey, you smart. You smart.
I know. Well, I trusted you. I knew, obviously. But, you know, the way it works.
Seen that from people get the locker room though.
People say, oh, they're playing the Niners. And look where the Niners are, obviously, this week of all weeks. So, yeah, people get a little bit spooked, but they haven't seen Jordan Addison. I knew the truth.
You knew the truth?
Yeah.
So where was I? So where was I before USC?
Pitt. Duh. I mean, you know, and plus Maryland. I mean, you've been all over. You've lived a lot of places. There's a lot of places this Sleep Number bed has been. You know what I'm saying? And so,
yeah, sleep.
That being said, how do you like life in Minnesota besides the cold? I mean, it's a really beautiful part of the country.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's a diamond in the rough. Minnesota is, you just got to be here to experience it. I can't really explain it. Y'all just come to Minnesota and get a Sleep Number bed, chill, rest, recover, wake up, and y'all gonna see. Y'all gonna see.
Last two ones for you, Jordan. I mentioned Caleb, and I'm sure, again, you've been asked about this, maybe not even by media, but by family or friends or just whatever, just kind of, you know, shooting text messages back and forth. How excited are you to watch him in the NFL? Because obviously he's got a lot of hype around him.
Oh, yeah, I mean, these stories that we always been, you know, already been talking about in the locker room, in the facility. So we already know where we at with it. I'm just waiting for his name to get called.
That's really well said. You're really good at this professional thing already, Jordan, even though it's been a year, but you know, you're a seasoned veteran. Last one, the story of the 2024 Minnesota Vikings is what?
Super Bowl champions.
Man, Jordan, I was already in, man, but you wrote me. I got the Sleep Number pillow. I'm Team Sleep Number. I'm Team Vikings. I'm Team Jordan Addison. Get the Juicy Lucy. Be very careful. Trust me. Again, I'm looking out for you. Thanks so much for joining us here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star on behalf of Sleep Number. Be well, stay healthy, enjoy the off season. Finally take a chance to breathe a little bit. I know last year coming to the NFL is a big deal, but wish you all the best and rooting for you always.
Thank you.
That was Jordan. You did it. The wonders of modern technology. So while I'm talking to Zimmern, you're talking via a variety of technical things.
Yeah. It was a stressful little 30-minute stretch, but we made it. Nothing broke, nothing collapsed. We got all the interviews, we got all the videos. They're up. They're on the YouTube channel. And I even got your picture with Andrew.
I had my morning cuddle on the morning huddle with my favorite.
Well, I couldn't hear it at first.
My week has been made
because I was in the middle of that. But from afar, he looked into it too.
I hope he was aglow.
Well, I mean, from afar, I mean, because I was trying to do my job, but like you two had the eyes.
A little sidebar. You know how cool this guy is? Instead of a business card, when he gives you his private phone number, it's printed on a guitar pick.
That's pretty sick.
That's legit.
Do you think if you did that, like if
I had that in my own pocket, I'm not cool enough to pull that off.
That's what I'm saying.
No, there's no way.
No, but like if you went through the process and you went and had them made or whatever, and you met somebody and they were like, "Hey, will you give me your number?" and you did, they'd be like, "What is this?
you're nowhere near cool enough to keep this.
Who do you think you are? I don't want this anymore." Like, so
what would be more appropriate for me?
For you,
like on a yo-yo.
No, that would be too difficult. No, I think
you'd have to carry, yeah.
I think for you, as I really think about this, it wouldn't be a cigar. It'd be those bubblegum cigars.
Oh, see, that would,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but the problem is you might want to consume it.
No, but it's on the wrapper. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? Like, it's on the wrapper.
Because-
Somebody's like, oh, this is cool. They put it in their pocket. You know what I mean? They chew the gum.
The reason I bring that up is, traditionally you go to things like this, and it is a convention of people of like mind. So I only use business cards whenever I leave San Antonio. Normally it's just like phone, text, whatever. So I had a handful. I went to my office and grabbed a fistful of business cards that are now just everywhere. These are out. This is a thing of the past. Why is this still a?
That you can.
We don't have a lot of time for grievances, but I guess we do.
You can just bump phones and
all those
transfer your contact information.
Yeah, all of those opportunities are above and beyond this, and now these things are just spilling out everywhere. And I've handed out, I think, 3.
Wow. Well, do you want to do grievances now that
I have a few, but it's hard for me to be upset.
Okay,
considering what I just did, and if you missed anything of what I just did, you can catch it all at SA Sports Star at our audio vault, which is brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds, and you will see something absolutely glorious if you are subscribed to our YouTube channel, and that is interviewing an incredibly talented yet handsome man in Andrew Zimmern.
Did you say that to him?
I hope I intimated that by my actions.
Like I said, I didn't hear much of it, but it looked like y'all broke the fourth wall.
It's hard to be upset when you get to do something that you look forward to and are happy to do it, but it's time to air our grievances. Do we have the proper sound, or do we want to intro it with the correct sound?
Well, we were watching Seinfeld last night. We had the garage incident.
For those just joining, it's going to be a long day for RJ and I. It is another one right now. We're just about done, but it's 7:42 Vegas time. We've been here since about 3:15 or so. And this has been the best part of the day because it's about to get worse for us because the Blitz is going to come on today at 2:00, and they're going to have a whole bunch of guests, and they're going to yada yada, and it's going to be fantastic. But in between all of the spectacular guests, all they're going to do is make up lies and embellish a story that is really just kind of basic. RJ and I forgot where we parked, and it took about an hour and a half and about 15,000 steps to find the van. That's really all that happened.
I don't think that's a fair characterization. That's mostly true. I think it's about 80% we forgot where we parked, 10% we were not with full mental faculties
at
3:17 in the morning, and 10% the unique situation of where we parked, how we exited the building, and the stress of moving as quickly as we were to get here to do our jobs. So,
that being said, you're going to be regaled with a story that is only partially true.
Yeah, they're going to make it seem like it was horrible. They went and sat down and did nothing while we looked.
They just dove into their phones while RJ and I. No, I'm not gonna go defend anything I don't think needs to be defended. This is what happened. It was. There's a lot of blame to go around. I'm not going to go into the he said, she said, who, you, not me, pointing fingers, because, we all know the old axiom. But it happened that we couldn't find the van for an hour and a half. It did happen. It happened that we ended up parking in the employee parking lot. That did happen. It happened that we happened to park in a parking lot that the average person couldn't even take an elevator to. That did, in fact, happen.
Right.
All that combined into really wrecking what was going to be a crazy night. We hiked the parking garage until finally a very I was going to say understanding, but that's not the word. A duty-bound Mandalay police officer.
I got this. An anxious to make fun of somebody.
There it is.
Mandalay garage officer who had a semblance of sweetness to his disposition, because he was very, very ready to dunk all over us. And the only thing I will point blame at, we were very clearly stressed. We very clearly absorbed all of the blame and felt guilty and felt bad for everybody being stuck, because of our circumstances. And we were off looking when they went and found the security guard, and they said, hey, the security guard's here. So we made our way there. And because they had spoken to the security guard before, they instructed him to screw with us and to make us feel even worse.
So I didn't know what was real and which wasn't. So you walk up to this security guard and, which one of you idiots lost the car? That's how we start this. So
you don't remember where you parked?
You idiots don't remember. I'm like, the cop just jumped my stuff. What? So don't let the embellishment get in the way of the facts that we didn't expect to drive, but it was forced upon us at the last moment. We had never made the drive prior.
That's true.
We
had
made
never
it
parked
in a driving rainstorm uphill in the snow.
We had never
with rain.
We had never dealt with the parking garage.
I don't know Nevada law. I don't know Nevada roads. I don't know what they could do here. So all that combined with me parking in the wrong parking lot and somehow getting on an employee elevator and emptying out into the basement. Apart from that, I think we remain blameless.
I really don't think how you can objectively look at all the facts involved here and say, y'all were in the wrong. I mean, we may have stumbled down, a clunky step or two on accident and due to one of my favorite words to say, naivete, but there was no ill will on our behalf.
No.
There was no narcissism. There was no arrogance. There was no finger pointing, whereas that came from everybody else.
And that will be coming hot and heavy today. I just ask that you remember what we said. Remember the facts. Don't get lost in the puffery of a good story, because we found the van on all as well. And a fine Italian meal was had by all, though some of us stayed home and others went out.
I will say, though, if there was any damage incurred, it was to the key fob.
Yes.
Because as we spent an hour and a half looking, Rob probably pressed the unlock and
I had reached the panic button by that point.
But he probably pressed it a good 30 times a minute,
thousands of times. And everybody's like, "Well, does it work?" Like, how the hell would I know if it's working? It comes on, but I don't know if that means it's working or it's not working. But I know I've pressed it 1,000 times and have not heard a horn. But here we sit. So as we sit today, it is we're going to have a lot for you. But before we talk about what we got tomorrow, anything to get off your chest as we head into a full and busy Thursday car wash on Media Row?
Does it have to be related to this week or this?
No,
experience?
this is a cleansing experience, because Thursday's the day when things get kicked up a notch.
Okay. Well, do you have anything you want to offer?
No, like I said, when you're basking in the glow that is Andrew Zimmern, it's hard to think anything negative.
Okay.
He smells of cinnamon. Did I tell you that?
How do you know?
Because I was close to him.
That close?
Yeah, I have video evidence.
Okay. Well,
none, right? It's hard to be upset when we've had the week that we've had.
And I'm just trying to think of something that annoys me generally, but it's kind of tough.
No, I have last night we ordered pizza, fine pizza.
Actually, I've gone there too, but go ahead.
Why would they? We actually, Metro Pizza, I've ordered from there before, did not have just a regular pepperoni pizza offering on their menu.
Okay, that's a good grievance. It's weird.
I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, mine is one of the slices, and I took it to be selfless. Had the puff. You know what I'm saying?
That's the good piece.
The dough. No, it's not.
Why?
It doesn't have the sauce.
No, it's a reservoir for future use.
No,
you're not using it right.
I think it's dumb.
I stuff the pepperoni in that little puff, and it's a whole other experience.
You should toss that.
Andrew
pie.
Zimmern taught me that.
You should toss that pie. If it's got a puff, you got to toss it.
That sounds like a song.
It's not quality.
If it's a puff, you got to toss it.
I don't know if this is accurate anymore, but I once spoke to a Chick-fil-A associate who said that if the chicken patty doesn't touch a triangular sort of portion, if the meat doesn't exceed a
over
triangular,
the bun, they throw it out.
They throw it out.
I've heard of that. That's true.
That's the kind of customer service I'm looking for.
Well, I want to. Oh yeah. Well, do you think those really get thrown out, or do those get thrown to the employees?
No, but I mean, the point is they don't get served. You know what I mean? They eat that. You know what I mean? They eat that. That stock.
I have a grievance, and it has to do. We do have some movement in the NBA. We are just a couple of hours from the trade deadline. 2:00 San Antonio time will be when we know. Been a couple of piddling moves. Some in the West Coast, we do have those coming through, but nothing as we go to the San Antonio Spurs. And my grievance will be tomorrow. I know what it's going to be. That we stood tight. I've seen over the last couple of days some massive rationalizations coming from Pop and the Spurs about Jordan taking 7 years and this and that. My grievance is you can't change what you've already said. Now, I understand adapting and overcoming and realizing situations change, but it wasn't that long ago when I was told we were going to be winning, and I saw another massive justification from Pop the other day about, time, 7 years, Jordan. He neglected to tell us what happened in the first 2 or 3 years that Jordan arrived. They involved playoffs, some playoff wins, a spectacular 63-point game against the Celtics early in his career. I don't see that coming imminently. And if you want to compare him to Jordan, I also don't want to see the foot injury to start things off, too. I think Spurs fans in general want you to do something. Something. Just do something.
Just to show us you care.
Just to show you're paying attention, that you're answering the phone. We won't miss Chetty. We won't. Doug, it's been nice knowing you. And if you screw it up, hey, it won't be the first time you guys screwed up, but do something. You got a couple of hours. Do something. Answer the phone. Hey, better yet, make a call. Make a call to this coaching tree that I've been told has been so outstanding across the country. Call somebody. Do something. 10 wins. 10 wins.
10 wins, but like,
feel better.
Almost like 15 wins. You know what I mean?
It feels like 15.
Like there's almost 15. If you a few flaps of the butterfly's wings here, there could have been 15. Devin Vassell gets out of the way. It might have been 11.
Do something.
I have a grievance. It's not Spurs related, so I'm sorry, but I think you kind of covered that. My grievance is using something to justify something that is admittedly wrong, and by that, all week long, and for the last 2 weeks, really, for the entire offseason so far for the Dallas Cowboys, I've been upset with their approach to the defensive coordinator.
Yes, yeah.
Right, and all I keep hearing, everyone was with me. We were all lockstep. We were in parallel. We were marching in arms, and we were saying, this is stupid. This is dumb. The way you're going about this, bringing Mike McCarthy back for a contract year or whatever, this is a horrible idea. Did something important happen?
No, keep going.
Okay, so we all agree this was dumb. Okay, a little bit of time passed, just a little bit, and they're doing this really dumb thing with how they're going about defensive coordinator. Yesterday, they floated out, in all seriousness, Rex Ryan. Okay,
snack.
That really happened on the day we lost the van. Okay, and I'm still here. I'm still marching. I'm still mad. I'm still upset. I'm saying this is dumb. And so now I'm getting people using the thing that we all agreed was dumb as an excuse. They're saying, well, what do you they're stuck, man.
What else could we do?
They've got him in a contract year. Who's going to want this job? Well, yeah, I mean, we're on step 2 of the dumb plan. You know what I mean? Because we executed step 1. That's the problem. Like, so don't be like, well, because this is that. Like, now I'm a fan of the dumb step 2. No, we all agreed that we went down the dumb path, and so what a shocker that step 2 is an even dumber one than step 1. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is an escalation in dumbness of the plan. And so right now, actually, I saw our buddy Andrew Perloff. He and his co-host Maggie Gray,
CBS Sports.
They just interviewed Emmitt Smith on Maggie and Perloff. And Andrew tweeted out a quote. He said, "We asked Emmitt Smith why Coach Mike McCarthy is back in Dallas, and Emmitt said, because I'm not the GM."
You'll get that tomorrow from Emmitt on the Blitz, as he will be stopping by. Truer words never had. A worthy grievance. They are in trouble, and we will pay close attention. There were a couple of other announcements for the interview process for the Jets. The 76ers have just traded to acquire Buddy Hield from the Pacers as they try to hold on for Embiid to get back after his what looks like 4 weeks of rehab with that knee. Moves are happening in the NBA. Man, oh man, I hope as the big game coverage continues tomorrow live from Media Row, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bond, Southern Recipe Small Bats, Sport Grinds, and Synergenics. We'll be talking about a Spurs deal, but until then.
Tomorrow, Kellen Winslow, Lee Steinberg, KJ Osborne, Matt Ryan, Kayvon Thibodeau, and Tony Khan. And what else? Surprises.
Stay in our limo. We'll see you tomorrow. This is San Antonio Sports Star.
The professional football playoffs are here.
Out of the gun.